Do whatever you want.
We're live. Hey, how's it going, everybody? We are live. We weren't supposed to be yet, but that's right. We got a good show for you. We're going to talk some DC.
Hartman, stop typing.
We've got a top five. We've got a possible interview. So sit back, relax, and that's it.
Warning. The following video contains material that some viewers may find harmful or could be traumatizing to some audiences and doesn't reflect the opinion of Renovision. Viewer discretion advised.
So, as you see by our new intro, our hands got smacked last week. We got in fucking trouble.
For what?
Not only did Sheriff Marco come down on us, but HR contacted us. So there's going to be some changes to the show.
Speaking of HR, isn't he supposed to be here?
He's supposed to be
Yeah,
on.
he is supposed to be here.
So there is some changes to the show. Not much. But
Basically no titties.
I have replaced it with a very cool pussy segment.
Tyson, you noticed. Yeah, shaved my beard accidentally. Give me 2 weeks, it'll be back.
Accidentally on purpose.
Accidentally on purpose. So, yep.
I was walking too close to a lawnmower.
Leave it to the bad boys of YouTube to get in trouble. So let's get this show on the road.
Yeah.
Kick it off. Let's do it.
Now I was a little busy. We were giving them a minute to catch up to us.
Yeah, doing what I can.
I was going to save the hand smacking talk for later, but thank you, Sam. Sam looks like Marco now.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
No!
What about now?
You gotta sit back farther in your chair and just pull out a random gold chain out of nowhere and be like, I'm putting on my boss chain.
Flex a lot. Here, let me get those guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
You gotta
Guns
use
out, funds
words
out.
like word salad or salad bars or
Is one of your pythons sick? Because you got to go to that. That python is sick. All right. Let's get this going.
Spider-Gwen is being reimagined as Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Vulture, Rhino, Kraven, the Hunter for a new limited series called Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones. And Shadow Ass is what it looks like. Marvel's betting the house on Spider-Gwen. Here's some of the covers. They're all like, I don't understand. Like, I understand the popularity of the Greg Land covers for Edge of Spider-Verse 2, but now you're going to do it for every Spider-Gwen book. So they did them for Gwenverse, and now you're going to just redo them again for Shadow Clones and just reimagine them as some of Spider-Man's greatest villains like Doc Ock, Sandman. There's the Kraven the Hunter cover and the Rhino cover. And to me, it's lazy. And
shit, a litter box.
Yeah.
That's the Sandman one looks like that.
It does kind of, yeah. But it's just
is she in the same two poses? They just throw a different skin on her?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's gonna have to be a hard pass.
I don't know. Let me see the rest of them.
Well, it's just because, there's only been 4 of them released. So you've got the Doc Ock, the Sandman, the Kraven the Hunter, and the Rhino.
I mean, those aren't bad Greg Land covers. I'm just not really interested in the premise.
Well, it's just like like I said, they use this same pose for every Spider-Gwen series. Every Spider-Gwen series, they have the covers with this same pose because of how much of a price tag the originals on the Edge of Spider-Verse fetch. It's insane.
I still keep picturing her litter box now. I can't stop. Damn it, Tyson.
I like the Doc Ock one. That one looks good to me.
I mean, they're not bad. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. It just the premise is stupid.
I kind of like the Rhino one too.
Rhino and shit.
I don't know.
She's in a litter box. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the litter box and I don't like the Craven one, but I like the Doc Ock and I kind of like the Rhino one.
Yeah, I mean, they're not bad covers, I guess.
She shouldn't have a band right here in the Craven one and just let the girls hang out.
Yep.
The girls out to party. If it's all right for Craven, why can't it be all right for her?
I wonder what porno Greg Land stole these from. But
AOA's over here trying to get us canceled again.
We already got in trouble last week, AOA. We got
Right.
our hands smacked.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be a very PG friendly, family friendly show.
We had to have the show edited.
Justin says
like-
hard pass.
Yeah.
Got a lot of hard passes. I kind of agree. Hard pass.
He knows titties.
So what happened last week? It's a long story.
Well, we got a couple copyright strike violations. We got violated. We got violated last week. Part of it was some of the trailers we showed, and then there was other stuff. It just, you know how it is when you're the bad boys of YouTube. Can't take us anywhere.
Nope. People get very upset by things we do.
So instead of the hot chick of the week, I'm going to do the hot pussy of the week.
See, because when you tell us not to do something, we just take it that one step further.
We double down.
That's right.
Crotch shot of the week.
According to rumors from the Hot Mic podcast, Jeff Snyder, Michael Keaton was in line to get another Batman movie, but that's no longer happening. And the Rap's Humberto Gonzalez also reveals that the film was supposed to be a live-action Batman Beyond. You can check out Gonzalez's tweet below. It says, the Insider, the solo Michael Keaton Batman movie we're talking about that Christian Hodson was writing was, in fact, Batman Beyond.
Exactly.
And that just goes to show you that DC hates money.
Back the planet.
Because honestly, Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie is $1 billion movie. That is a franchise saving, DC saving movie.
Yes, everybody would be going to see that.
I think you get Timothy Chalamet to play Terry McGinnis, and you have the dude who's in Dune. He plays the main character in Dune.
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Sucked.
You get him to play Terry McGinnis. You get Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce Wayne, and you got $1 billion movie. So the fact that DC isn't even taking a chance on this and has scrapped it before it even went anywhere
Fuck you,
tells
James
me
Gunn.
tells me, like our title says, 1, DC hates money. 2, DC doesn't give a shit about what you want. And 3, they also hate Batman Beyond because they'd rather continue giving us the same old Batman, just reskinned instead of giving us something new that we haven't seen before, like Neo Gotham and all that.
Allow me to be the voice, the outsider, and just say that I think all of these movies that are being
Go ahead, Sam.
You gonna let me talk?
Yeah.
All right. All of these movies that are being postponed or canceled, quote unquote canceled. James Gunn's just trying to find a place for him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was a good idea if it's what Brucifer said is the story was pitched in current day, not the future, then yeah, it should be in the future.
For real.
Because that would current day it just wouldn't quite work. So
Agreed.
it should be in the future. So right, Matt? Right, muted Matt? So what do you think, Hartman?
Good input, Hartman. I'm riveting conversation.
Harbin's AFK, man.
Riveting conversation. My God, like the crowd is just insanely excited for what Hartman had to say there. Jesus, Hartman. Anyways,
in the future too.
yeah. So you think that all the canceled stuff he's just looking for a place for? So I think that what we're gonna get, he's just trying to get away from all the Snyderverse stuff. So that's why, he's putting out the stuff that's already made: Flash, Aquaman, Shazam. I think all that's gonna get rebooted because we learned that Wonder Woman 3 isn't moving forward, and then the drama behind that. They're talking about not moving forward with Man of Steel 2. So I kind of think along the same lines as what you're saying, Sam, but I think that it's going to be a reboot. They're going to use these characters again. So they're going to keep Henry Cavill as Superman. They're going to keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but they're not going to be thirds. It's going to be rebranding, reissue, new movies altogether.
Do you think that's a good idea? I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't like that idea either. I think they're better off just starting where they're at, but just making them better. Like there's a lot of good stuff in the DCEU. Casting is good, but rebooting, I don't think people are really interested in another reboot of these things. Instead, I would like to see a better framework for the films and then better writing of the films. Like I actually did a blog post a while back about where to take Man of Steel. And, Snyder had set up a lot of good things, but man, did things take a real rough turn with Batman v Superman. And things have been really rough since. So hopefully it's just instead of rebooting everything, we can just kind of take a breath, say, you know what, we're not gonna tell origin stories again. We're just gonna start with a new framework from here on, and make good movies.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Hartman.
Okay.
How's it going, Hartman?
Do you have more riveting stuff?
Were you not able to hear me? Did you not hear me before? What? Can you not hear me?
We just barely started hearing you.
I said there's too many Batman. Cancel them.
James Gunn agrees with you. He says there's not going to be 4 Batmen.
Yeah, I know there's not going to be 4. There should be 1.
One Batman to
people
rule
get confused, man. Too many, like, people see Batman, they think like the last Batman they saw, and they're like, what? Who is this guy?
I don't think that's true. I don't think anybody's confused by it.
I spoke with my nephew earlier, and he said the same thing. So somebody thought it, other than me, and he doesn't watch this shit.
How old is your nephew? And is your nephew actually you?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it.
His nephew is just him when he's looking in the mirror.
No, he said he doesn't like the fact that there's no, like, the continuity. He doesn't like. He's said that there's different characters every time he watches them, and he doesn't watch this stuff as much as you guys do, of course, and I mean me at least. So, somebody's got to think it if he thought it and I thought it, and we don't really talk too much. That's why we should make
Batman Beyond in the future, because that's the whole point of it.
I mean, Batman Beyond, the animated series, played it had overlap with the Batman animated series, didn't it? I don't think anybody was confused by that.
I don't think it so
Well,
much had an overlap as it was just that the real overlap was Kevin Conroy voicing Bruce Wayne again, and then just kind of they explain it. It's got old man Bruce Wayne into it, so it kind of sets it up nicely for you to be able to understand it. And I think they could do that same thing with the movies if it's Michael Keaton and it's set with his Batman and in his universe, and you roll with that. But the fact that they keep saying that James Gunn is writing this roadmap, and he's got to present this roadmap to the CEOs of Warner Brothers Discovery tells me that I think they want to purge, and they're going to purge all of the Snyderverse stuff. So that has run its course, and they're going to move in a different direction and get away from all that stuff.
have they fired Ezra yet? Is he still?
No.
How have they not canned his ass? But they're like cutting Batman from movies and I just don't get that. Like, I mean, power to him for whatever he's doing to stay on. But
I think there's too much made of the Flash to cut him at this point.
Or is it too important to reboot the series?
No, it's not. I think it's testing that the Flash is testing so well, and that's all you see is just how well the Flash is testing that they're gonna roll with it and keep him on. But I don't think, from the sounds of it, unless that movie like makes $1 billion, I don't think they'll move forward with him. I think they'll either sit the Flash out for a while or recast at that point.
So
Because there's Hollywood insiders that have said in order for a movie to be considered a profitable, they have to make 3 times what it cost to make the movie.
and that's why they're considering Black Adam
Yeah, even though it's making money, it's not going to make 3 times the $100 million or whatever it was to make that movie. So it's considered a financial failure.
I feel bad for Dwayne. He's tried so hard for so long.
Dude, that would be a badass naked and afraid Batman. I could be down for that.
Does he still have his money though?
As long as it's Ben Affleck and his huge root.
Jeez Louise.
Fucking Dick Swain in the wind.
Knocking people out.
I mean, there's a lot of talk.
With his
Yeah,
dick.
there's a lot of talk that James Gunn is going to do Kingdom Come stuff, and he's been teasing that. So who really knows where they're going? But honestly, Batman Beyond, like I said, Kyle and I have been saying this for a long time that Michael Keaton as old man Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie is $1 billion movie.
For sure.
Like, there's no way that's not a home run.
Sam, work on that.
You should work for DC.
What do you got going on over there, Hartman? What's this ASMR we're doing?
Well, I don't know. It's my shit is dying. My shit's about to die, so I'm gonna have to.
If only they made a
out.
device that you could plug into the wall
know,
and the other one into your device that
I had a family thing
gives
that
it
took
power.
longer than I thought, so and I wasn't able to charge it.
Anytime we hear about testing, it's usually BS people. BS people sign an NDA when they go to them, unless it's coming from a reputable site.
I don't believe.
Rumors were that Affleck was smoking a cigarette before he was going into.
With his dick.
Later, Hartman.
He got sent to the Shadow Realm.
He said Affleck smoking a cigarette, and he got deleted. He was deleted.
Hey, wait.
HR took
Hey,
away.
wait says Sam looks like he only has one kid without facial hair. Yeah, you're right. I do. It takes a lot of years off my face. Shave.
So
It'll be back. Give me a couple weeks.
what they should do is Flashpoint if they want to reboot.
Well, that's what the Flash is Flashpoint. That's what
Is it?
Yeah.
I must have fucking just forgot then.
Well, because the movie's only been coming out for what feels like 9 years.
I know. Well, originally it wasn't gonna be.
Because they kind of set that up in, what was it? Was it Justice League? It's been so long since I've seen it. Or was it Batman Superman where he like sees the Bruce Wayne's sitting in the Batcave, and like the Flash starts to come through, and then says
That's
something.
Batman v Superman.
There you go.
Says
There we go.
James Gunn took to Twitter yesterday and today and called out all these rumors, by the way.
So
He didn't call all of them out.
he really didn't. He said some of the rumors are true, some of what's being reported is kind of true, and some of what was being reported isn't true at all. So that's not really dispelling the rumors.
Yeah,
He's just
leaving it up to our
acknowledging.
imagination.
Yes, he's acknowledging what's being said and letting you decide what's going to be true and run with it. So he's not really dispelling anything.
Well, shit.
But
Well, shit. Thanks a lot for nothing, James Gunn.
right, none of the Robin. What did he do? I didn't look into it much, but I saw another thing on Elon Musk's Twitter that said that people are calling for Zack Snyder to be put in charge of DC now because there's more allegations against James Gunn. I haven't seen what those allegations are and if there's even any truth to it, but
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll probably just let it ride. DC's gonna let it ride.
yeah, he's not. They're not. They're like, whatever.
Well, they've already, I mean, I'm not seeing anything for recent. I'm seeing all the old shit.
Maybe it's because of the old stuff, but because I guess Marvel's I guess wrapped up in allegations now with Miss Marvel that the dude who played Miss Marvel's dad was grooming underage kids, and so I'm sure that'll be a fun time moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, August it says. I think it's like just
rehashing old stuff.
Yeah, but I don't see a lot of. Everything's
Yeah.
back to 2018.
Sounds like Gunn is trolling everyone. Exactly. I think he's just throwing whatever he can out there to keep people off.
You might be right. You might be wrong. You might be kind of right and wrong.
Brian Wells says Snyder will never come back to DC. I don't think so either, but can't hurt to try, right?
Gotta try.
Moving on, a preview of DC's Batman Spawn crossover reveals the reason why Al Simmons is hunting Bruce Wayne. Tom McFarlane's production shares the first look at Batman Spawn, a new crossover which was announced during San Diego Comic-Con 2022, written by McFarlane and featuring art by Greg Capullo. The preview reveals Al Simmons is hunting Bruce Wayne in an effort to see his wife, Wanda Blake, again. Spawn also suggests that Wanda and Bruce's mother, Martha Wayne, were killed on the same night, June 26th.
Bum, bum, bum.
More of this shit. Martha? My mom's name is Martha, too. Your mom was named Martha and killed on the same night as my wife.
Your mom has the same birthday as my wife.
Yeah.
We should be friends. We could throw a party together.
We can do vigilante justice in the garage.
Come over to my house. We'll do CrossFit together.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm going to pick this up just because it's got Capullo's art. It's just fire. Especially that one down here where he's fucking hitting the shit out of the fucking Joker.
Yeah. That is Capullo's art's always good, man. I'll probably pick it up too. I'm interested in it. I think it's going to be a fire story. But just the Capullo art is definitely the selling point for me.
I mean, hopefully McFarlane can stay on the beaten path of what he wants to do, because sometimes he goes astray. See you later, Hartman.
Thanks for coming again, Hartman.
If they have a CrossFit Batcave scene, that would be amazing. Come on, Spawn. We got to get to the WOD.
They're just working out together.
Let's do some burpees.
It'll be funnier if they did that Joe Rogan skit with the weights.
I'm not familiar with that one. What is it?
We'd probably get in trouble by HR if I described it, so just Google it.
Okay. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight.
But yeah, I don't know when final cutoffs for this book are. I'm sure that's already happened. When does this book even come out?
Comes out on your mom's birthday.
Oh no, it's the same day as Martha died. Tyson said they love the shake weight.
Spits up money for an Uber home. Like that.
Anyway, it says Capula says he's doing Marvel art soon yesterday on Twitter. Nice.
I wonder what he's going to be doing for Marvel.
Hope he does Spider-Man.
That's what I was about to say. I hope it's fucking.
Hope it's Spider-Man.
That'd be fucking. What is
Anything to get JR off of Spider-Man. Uh-oh.
You guys in your Arizona, no daylight savings time's confusing.
Oh, Pete. Hey, Pete. My name's Sam.
I was sitting here, I was messaging Sticks. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hop on SNS later. I was like, I might grab a quick shower first. And, I got time. I look at my phone. It's like, now live. I'm like, now live? Damn
we
it.
go live at 5 p.m. Arizona time.
Pete, I dare you to shave your beard like me.
It's been a while. It's been a few years, I think, since my face has actually felt fresh air.
Yeah.
What you do is make a bet, and then when you lose, you don't shave it anyway.
You can't make me.
That'll be funny.
Now I got to mix my drink. What did I miss?
Oh, nothing. Let's just pretend like none of that actually happened.
We talked the new Gwenpool or Gwen covers.
Gotcha.
We talked Batman Beyond. We talked and we just got done talking about Spawn Batman crossover with Greg Capullo art.
It's not his show though. This is
not.
Kyle's show.
Well, you guys can continue. I'll catch up on the flow as you guys go.
All right.
Pete big time and people are just showing up whenever he wants.
Pete, what's your mom's name?
It's Martha.
It's Martha.
Martha.
Does your mom have the same name as my mom? Do you want to come over and do CrossFit in my garage?
Oh man.
Now you're caught up.
And now you're caught up.
The return of star Joaquin Phoenix to his role as Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker, in the upcoming follow-up film has been given glances by Todd Phillips, giving you a little sneak peek of him getting a shave, apparently.
And that's Todd Phillips with the razor.
That's his surprise to fans that
I'm
Arthur
so
Fleck is getting
excited
shaved.
now.
This is right after they finish their cuddle tug.
They did the double tap running.
Okay, we'll let that one go.
Justin says, I thought everyone's name was mom's name was Martha.
Quick, hide the drugs. He is here.
Are you guys looking forward to this? Like a
Fully
musical?
You mean?
No, it's gonna be a fucking big pile of fucking burning shit on your fucking stoop of your fucking front door.
Well, you don't want to watch Lady Gaga prance all over Manhattan
I don't
That's
think
Harley
so.
Quinn? No.
as Harley
Part of me
Quinn.
still thinks the musical aspect of it is a troll.
It has to.
Well,
Not-
you know, he
it's
had
not
those.
really going to be a musical.
He
Yeah.
had those kind of like delusions where he was on stage.
Yeah,
I can see them trying to do the musical aspect with that kind of.
they're gonna perform in the Arkham Asylum talent show.
I'm just saying that first movie would have been so much better if it was all a dream or it was all a joke and he was just messing with the psychiatrist.
Maybe if they do one scene where she like pops in for about 18 seconds and you only do an angle where she looks hot.
Wait, which angle is that?
The one where she's not on it. I mean, there's like when you watch that dumb movie with her and Rocket Raccoon in it.
Bradley Cooper. A Star is Born is not a dumb movie. It's a decent movie.
Like there's a couple angles here and there during watching it, and she's like, she looks pretty good. And then a few seconds later, you go, no, she doesn't.
She's a two-face. like on Seinfeld.
There you
Bad
go.
lighting.
There you go. Got a bomb ass. There you go.
But the musical is probably in Harley's head. Maybe.
That's what I was saying.
That I mean, as long as it's quick, then I mean, I probably won't even see the Joker 2.
Yeah, you will. Of course you will.
No,
'Cause you're
I don't think he
pirate
will.
it
'Cause
and watch it in your living room
he didn't like the Joker 1, so why would he watch the second one?
Yeah.
for the show.
And I
Suck it up.
for the show.
For the show.
I actually went to the movies to see Joker 1, and I was so fucking pissed by the time I left.
Well, it didn't help that someone was touching you.
There was the dude next to me was putting his hand on my leg to my inner thigh.
And that dude's name was Matt.
You need a little leg massage.
It probably was,
weird. I
but
like,
He's
what?
trying to work his way into that cuddle tug, but it just
I like froze in
Calm
terror. I didn't know what to fucking do.
Kyle wasn't ready yet.
Oh my god! I
Well,
hate
maybe by the time Joker 2 comes out, he'll be ready.
Ugh. We were even in the fucking recliner, so it was like extra effort. What the fuck?
he just was reaching in for some nachos. He didn't know you passed him to the left. That's all.
Those aren't nachos.
Yes.
That's a hot dog. That's a smoked sausage.
Bourbon
Tyson wants to
Tyson.
know if you're drinking. Yeah, there you go.
4 Roses, single barrel.
Nice.
Ooh, look at this guy. And then it's the anniversary. Rest in peace, Dimebag Darrell, August 20th, 1966 to December
December
8th,
8th.
2004.
Always sad. December 8th is always a sad day, knowing that fucking one of the great guitar legends was fucking shot in a little tiny nightclub.
It's almost 20 years now.
I know, it's crazy.
I remember where I was living in Orlando, Florida when that happened. And I heard it on Howard Stern. Stern was talking about it when it happened.
It was fucking sad. I'm glad I got to see him play 3 times. So,
How many of
And then
those
shout
times
out
were with Pantera?
shout out to Corey from Slipknot. Happy birthday, motherfucker.
He's a big fan of the show, I heard.
He is, dude. He calls me all the time. He's like, dude, don't get rid of the hot chicks with the see-through shirt clip, dude. I love
I
it.
heard that
Favorite.
their next tour, he's gonna have a Kyle mask.
Dude. Oh shit. Bring up that picture of what my wife had made.
Oh, now you want to go through my Facebook and try and find it?
You know what? Hold on. I'll go grab it real quick because I think it's just right next to me. Hold on.
You gotta give me more notice than
Yeah,
just
you
hey,
need a little
pull
more
up
lead
this
time.
photo from
Yeah.
5 days ago that I sent you.
I think you learned that from Marco.
Yeah, probably.
Pull this
Hey
up.
Pete,
What?
hey Pete, pull up this thing that I'm thinking of. Do it right now.
You know the
I have
one.
no way to describe it to you, and even if I could, I'd say it incorrectly.
You say it incorrectly. You have to decipher it in code. Yeah.
It's a pretty good Marco, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm staring in a Marco mirror right now.
I know. Except for he does have facial hair.
So, everybody, I might do it as a giveaway, but there's a chance to win a Kyle ornament for your tree.
Beautiful. It's Magnum. It's beautiful.
Hey, everybody!
You put it like in the perfect place. You can just hold it there the whole show. It'll look like that's your head.
Yeah.
Kyle, you're so beautiful.
So I really don't want to see that Joker 2, just in case the some dude tries to grab my dick again.
Dude, this is if you kind of wiggle it back and forth, it's gonna look like one of those claymation holiday specials.
Hey, that's sweet. And like right after you told the funniest joke ever.
Right?
Yeah. It's like our own homemade version of South Park.
What we are going to do with these are we're going to put them on as we travel around for Christmas to visit family. We're just going to put them on people's trees and see if they notice.
Start putting them away in January. Like, what was this?
Fuck. But it's
So
like
next year you got to get more made with a link, with a QR code or a link to the show. And then when you go to random Christmas events, like in downtown Phoenix or somewhere that has a tree, you just put them on there.
oh
Just start
shit,
putting them out randomly through.
It's
Guerrilla
actually
marketing
etched on wood.
ornament.
That's
It's
cool.
etched onto wood.
That's
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hopefully, I'll be back, but
Pretty
I
funny.
gotta dip out because I'm singing some Christmas carols at my church. You guys have a great show.
Keep your face
All
warm.
right. Yeah. Put on a scarf. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I like how the man sets up an interview for us, doesn't tell us to the last minute, and then bails out before said interview even takes place.
What?
Oh my god.
He came like 15 minutes or 20 minutes before the show started and said, by the way, there's an interview. We're like,
Wait, who's doing an interview?
Apparently us.
When?
Apparently in 30 minutes.
With who?
That's a great question.
It's
Hey, man.
pretty much gonna be it.
Oh man. All right, well let's while we're waiting, talk about the best and worst covers of the week. Kicking us off tonight, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Armageddon Games, number 3, the height cover. That cover is just awful.
Going on there with his mouth.
Right? It's all like he's a moose.
Ooh.
Well, it's supposed to be Jenica, so it's a female
Oh.
turtle. So like they couldn't even like
I see the
make it
claws
look
now.
a little feminine. Yeah, I don't know what Michelangelo is doing in the background here. Like,
What do you mean that was making it that snout is making it more feminine?
no, I said they should have made it more feminine.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
I was like, damn.
I guess like the thigh high fishnets is supposed to do it. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Still goth.
yeah, this is just a I saw this
That's
on
just
the
not good.
shelf and I was like, oh god. Like, it's even worse in person than what you're seeing right now. So
Yeah, the
definitely
Michelangelo teeth are kind of creeping me out, like he's
Yeah.
flossing.
And it looks like he's got like dentures.
it does.
Big old-
I gotta get to the back. Don't mind me.
Dice. Sam better watch it since he looks like an altar boy. That's the quality MCM we all know and love.
We don't say that here. We don't say
Next,
that.
we have Punisher number 8, the Sway cover. Like, I don't know what's going on here with this massive arm, his little body, and then just this massive left arm or right arm.
That's called masturbation.
He's been working hard on. Or maybe it's
Literally.
just real buffed from all that sword swinging. It looks like he's just killed a room
It's
full
right.
of ninjas.
If that's what you want to call it, some people call it stroke of the bishop. You call it the,
Yeah, I saw this one earlier and I was looking at it. I didn't look at it closely enough. Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Like, what's going on with his pants? Is he taking a dump? Because it looks like he's kind of half pulling them down.
No, he's just in style.
Oh.
He's just part of, he's trying to stay in style.
So he can blend in.
Exactly. Hey, is that the Punisher? No,
Nah,
he's
can't be.
dragging his pants too low. Just looks like everybody else.
He has the Quagmire arm. Yes, exactly. The Quagmire.
Welcome back, Hartman.
Yeah. Next, we have Captain
He's in,
Marvel
he's out, he's in.
44, the Peach Momoko variant.
She put out what, 4 or 5 covers this week? She had at least 4 covers come out this week, and there was, I think the Daredevil one wasn't bad, but the rest of them are like this. They're just not very good.
They're just grabbing every napkin sketch she's done and saying, "Let's throw it on a cover."
she's just bombarded, and she's just like here. And I think that's
she's definitely one that like she's become so overused that you can definitely tell like the quality of her work is suffering from it.
It really is.
Because she's only getting to do like the character, and then we'll fill the background with something. Don't worry about the background. So it just looks like an empty character just floating in space.
You don't have enough time. It's all right. It's all right. We'll just put a starry sky behind it, and it's all right.
But I did my picture on white. Don't worry about it. It won't look out of place at all. It won't look like we just cut it out of like white paper and threw it down on another piece of paper. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
So let's see. Did you see the Daredevil one?
No, I haven't.
I don't know if I saw the Daredevil one or not.
It was bring it up.
Is it Elektra on it?
No, it's hold on. I'll just because I'll just share my screen real quick. Is Hartman back?
Probably
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Oh my god, you're so loud.
Oh, sorry. I hate Windows. I hate Windows. Is that better?
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Here's the Avengers that she did.
Quit shitting on Momoko.
Same thing. It's a little half-assed, and they.
Yeah,
I
just
want
fill
more
it in.
white on the book this time. Okay, we can do that.
He's a good artist.
And then the other one she did.
Ew. Carol looks like she has some birth defects.
Oh,
Need another laptop.
The Elektra cover.
Here's the
was
Daredevil
it the
one.
Elektra?
That's actually not the one I was looking at, but
Then she did one for Dark Web too.
yeah, it was. Here's the Ghost Rider. That's what I meant.
Who else is doing watercolors?
That is a sick cover.
that
for
was not
Ghost
bad.
Rider.
Who else is doing the watercolors?
Yeah.
That is super
Yeah,
cool.
you don't just
I
get
think out
extra
of all
credit
four
just because you're
covers-
using watercolors, though.
No, but she does have two separate styles, does she not? She's got her watercolors, and then she's got her like anime style. Or
Bruce, the Miles Morales Spider-Man #1 Momoko. It's the giraffe Spider-Man variant.
I'll get some of them look like shit. I respect them. I respect her, but you
You're
know,
just making her do too much. That's the problem.
That
That-
is bad. Yeah.
she reminds me
When
of
it
the
comes to
artwork they did for
drawing-
Final Fantasy.
Spider
Like,
does that.
Hmm.
but how popular
She
is
did that
anime
with
now?
the Spider-Man cover, too, a while back.
The Spider-Man has got a real
So, yeah, so she did
long neck and like a real tiny head.
Yeah, I don't mind it though. At least there's a background to it, and it feels complete. But
So
exaggerated,
she did
sure.
5 covers, and I would say out of the 5 covers, the Ghost Rider was probably the best one.
But go back and look at like ancient, like the Chinese ancestry and Japanese artwork from the past, like, and you'll see you'll see a lot of the resemblance to what she does. So I just don't think it's appealing to everybody.
But she had, when she was first coming out, she had some banger covers. Like she had some banging Turtles covers. She's had some real banging covers. But now it's just that her popularity has been so high that Marvel is like, all right, we're just gonna keep pumping her out and pumping her out and pumping her out.
Yeah,
Now, that sounds terrible the way when it's coming out of
Yeah.
my mouth, but you know, it's now her work is starting to suffer because it's getting worse and worse and worse.
It's not just
So-
her. Like they do that to all the artists. Like think of how great Delato covers used to be because they were special. Now he's doing how many covers each month, and it's just they all kind of look very similar.
So
Because
was she born in America or?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I
So-
don't know for certain.
Well, so I look at like the manga and stuff. If you open up a manga, it's all of like it doesn't have the color picture, but it's all the same. Like you're not going to open up a cover from a nice cover that you like, and then see inside every panel is drawn like the cover. That's what I was like, what the hell? Like this art sucks inside this book. But when I see her, like if she lives in America and was born here, then she might be accustomed to that. But she might, like the way that her style is. I lost where I was going with that. But I think it's a style difference as far as the Japanese culture.
You can tell.
But your mom,
You can tell in a lot of these she's not rushed.
Well, in American comic
And
books, though, a
look at
lot
the
of the
art
time the
difference.
cover artist is not the same artist that's on the interiors.
Oh, I mean,
So-
how often is it the same?
Right.
That's like a 1 in
So now,
100 shot.
now the difference though in over here compared to like the way that we draw things than to over there, I don't know the difference, but I just know that their dedication level is crazy. So I don't know if that, you think that's why you don't like her covers over here, or do you think that could be you're not familiar with the style that she's drawn in, or that she does her work
She
in?
has a lot of badass covers just lately. You could tell that she's overworked.
Well,
The way
and a lot of it's a lot of her covers are the same pose. It's the same idea. They're rehashed and reused. It's just not. Yeah, it's like Kyle said. She's overworked, and she's kind of phoning it in. It feels like you can kind of get that, much like rock bands when they hit the mainstream. You can tell when they're pretty much phoning it in and just making radio hits versus what they made when they weren't, superstars yet. Same thing.
Have we seen her Tool covers and stuff? Like, have we seen like the cover arts that she does for Tool at all? Or any of the stuff she's done outside of comic books recently? Or are you guys familiar with any of the work she's done other than that?
Kyle's just showing her Instagram.
Yeah.
Because now the recent Tool cover she did was amazing.
Yes, that's a good, Mark's got a good point. They only do covers, no excuse.
It's just too many. There's just too many. I get it. Everybody's gonna run out
Like
of
J.
ideas.
Scott Campbell, all of his covers look the same too.
I don't know. It's something about where she's come from that I think we're being a little harsh on her, but my opinion.
Yeah. Again, I'm a big fan of artists. And I agree when if something's not great, I'm not gonna say it's great. They've done better.
I mean, you can't. I don't know. I think you can't really give her a pass when she puts out stuff like Spider-Man looking like he's shitting a web, or some of the real bad stuff she's put out. Like, you tell me. So here, this is Peach Momoko. So you're gonna tell me what she's doing here versus what she's doing here. We're not giving her enough credit.
So do you not like that cover?
The Captain Marvel cover?
Captain
No,
Marvel?
it's the reason
why
it's
now see
the worst cover.
You think it's the worst. I don't think it's that bad. Like, that style right there, that right there is like that's what I'm talking about. Her style, she has a split, like I don't want to say a split personality, but she has a clean divide on things that she does in comics. Like, I see stuff that I'm like, ugh, but I understand, like, I get what she's doing. And then I'll see something that's like a sketch cover or something, like, like one of those blueprint architect like covers where she's got the character design.
But
and
then
I
she
see
puts out a banger like this.
Yeah, see, that's the different style though. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That the differentiation between the two types of styles she has. She has like an ancient Japan type way of doing it, but then she has a modern day anime manga style that she does.
Yeah, and I get that, but I feel like they took her ancient style, if that's what we're going to call this one.
That right there, yes.
Slapped it on a background that Marvel gave to her because she just drew a picture of Captain Marvel, maybe, albeit it could have been a sketch. I don't know if she planned for this to be a cover or not. They just decided, hey, we're going to make this a cover. Like, when we take this piece of art, we're going to...
Or she throws down a banger like this.
Slap it together.
Yeah, so see, like, I don't, like, if, with the backgrounds, I don't know what her excuse would be for the backgrounds, but, I mean, I think that the character looks good, but, I mean, the background, the background's
not
shit.
Bad. per se. I mean, it's not great, but again,
It
you can
just-
just look at it like, why is she outlined in white? Like, it just doesn't fit. Well, this doesn't blend to this starry sky that they put on there. And I don't think that was her choice. I think that was a post-production type of thing.
And compared to her other art, it just looks phoned in.
Yeah.
And I think Tyson's got a good point. When you have the
Man.
same deadline for multiple projects, you got to take shortcuts.
She might have had some assets that she'd already had done, but I don't think that looks phoned in. The background, yeah, but I mean, I think that looks good. The character.
Everyone's got an own opinion.
But I
But then
just do
in that
cards.
same style, she throws out like what is this?
Like some trash polka.
He's like literally shitting a web.
Well, or he's beating it.
Well, I
I
mean,
just
I don't.
She did see Spider. And then
Yeah, where do you think where do their webs come from?
well, her she's using her other hand that you don't see. That's what I see.
But I don't think all of her covers are terrible.
Yeah,
like,
we're
I
not
think
saying
she's a
No,
phenomenal
but I
artist,
know that
but-
there's I know that a lot of people shit on her. Not you guys, but I know that I hear a lot of people shitting on her, and it's like you're not seeing the two. I don't think people are like. Some people are like, man, half her work sucks. It's like, well,
Like,
let's
even-
step back and which
I mean,
half?
even in this style, once it loads, this Daredevil cover is a banger. I think.
Yeah,
like-
See
Daredevil
now,
is
like I
beautiful.
mean, that one's not for me, but you know.
I just think she has banger covers. It's just a lot of her Marvel stuff is not it because she kind of does this same style for most of her Marvel covers.
I haven't done much looking into anything as far as like what that like the poses and shit like that. But you know, I mean, I think we have a bunch of statues we see from the Greeks and crap, and they're pretty much all the same poses too. So I don't know if that has anything to do with what she's used to drawing
Yeah.
but there's a reason for it.
I don't know. There's a difference between something that was done in 1600 BC.
Well, no, but I'm
Right.
saying though, if if that's your style, if that's how you do something, then you're gonna go to that style. So I don't know. Don't talk to her, so I don't
Like,
know what
I
she
think-
thinks or
I think
feels.
This one is a banger too. This is one of my favorite covers for Dark Age, which
Mm.
is a series I really liked. But
So she's got the aura around her.
Well, it's kind of not really. It's more like smoke. Like she's coming around. She's got smoke behind her. But like I think this is a banger cover.
Yeah. The way that it's laid out is definitely more pleasing overall.
Rather than just looking like she's.
Again, I feel like they just took something she did somewhere else and we're gonna slap it on this. Like,
Or
Right.
she messed up during something and then she just colored the background in. Because she's not a digital artist, is she?
No, I think
don't
she
believe
does
so.
all of her
So she
stuff.
could have done all that stuff and then tried to do something and then messed it up and it's like, well, I'll just go this route.
Either
Yeah,
way,
well,
it's all the
digital,
worst
you can
cover of the week. So
undo.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's not like we're not saying she's the worst artist of the week.
Or
We're
is
just
she in
saying that this
space?
This cover is just not good.
Yeah, I just don't like
Yeah.
this one.
but we do have
I
good
agree.
covers of the week as well.
We do have good covers, like this one, "The Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing," number 3.
Dude, that is the coolest cover. Like that they could have like it. I love it because it is the epitome. Like you just put a picture of your daughter doing the same exact thing, and it wasn't even
Yeah.
the Joker. Every
Right?
parent has a picture of their kid fucking screaming bloody murder on Santa's lap.
You
Guys
don't
are
smell like Santa. You smell like beef and cheese.
Every time I see the Joker now, I'm just gonna think he smells like beef and cheese. Oh, I wonder if the Joker smells like beef and cheese.
Probably smells like motor oil.
Probably
Smells
It's
smells
all
like,
thinking. What does the Joker smell like to them?
like copper from all the blood on him.
Smells like toxic chemicals and
Oh,
Bat blood.
Sticks, what's up, buddy?
Hi guys.
I agree, Mark. I only purchased this one for the cover as well.
You guys hear me typing?
Yes, I can hear
God
everything
damn.
you're doing.
I know. I can't. I try not to breathe.
Your camera and it's good for everything except video.
I don't even. I had to get another computer out.
Well, it looks like our guest is here, so we'll have to come back. Well, he could actually finish doing best covers with us, since he is a cover artist. Let's bring him into the game.
It's not gonna be awkward at work next week. And
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
hello.
Welcome.
Hey,
How are y'all doing?
Oh, pretty good. You just came in for our best and worst cover of the week segment.
All right. Yeah, I was actually drooling over this Bermejo cover. He's one of my favorites, and yeah, I don't know how he does it. Like his work to me is like a magic trick. You know what I mean? Like some artists, you like Chris Somney, for example, fantastic illustrator, fantastic artist. I know how he does it. Like it's, his stuff is very stark black and white. You can see the brush strokes. Bermejo, I'm like, where did that pigeon come from? Like, I don't know how you did that. You know what I mean?
Do you do figure work at all? Paint, like tiny painting stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask more
customize
questions
action
about
figures.
that later.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
I would love to get into that.
Well, everybody, Farrakhan, why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are, and then we'll move on, and then we'll start having a discussion with you.
Sounds good. Yeah, my name's Iibrahim Moustafa. I'm a comics and graphic novel artist and writer. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I also make custom action figures and dioramas and vehicles in scale to go with those action figures. I'm actually working on a custom kit from Knight Rider right now, so that's what's taking up my weekend. So got spray paint drying on the back porch.
Nice.
did you make Nerd?
What's that?
Nerd the little motorcycle or moped?
Oh, I don't know if I ever saw that one. I've been rewatching it on Netflix. I didn't get that far, but once I see that episode, I probably will.
So what's our next?
That sounds cool.
Next cover is the Firstborn's #1 20 copy cover.
Dude, this is awesome. This Clockwork Orange homage cover is fucking awesome. Like it's badass. Like once I saw that this was a Clockwork Orange homage, I was like, this has to come on the best covers just because it's such
Big fan of the Droogies.
Yes.
Do we know who drew this one?
It was. I thought I put it up and I fucking didn't.
You had one job, Kyle.
I fucked it up.
I like it a lot. It's it's one that will stand out on the shelf. Like when you're working on a cover, you have to take into account that you're going to be on this just a rainbow of like everything in front of you. You want readers' eyes to stop on your cover on the shelf, and this one has a lot of stark contrast and negative space, and then you have that bright pop down in the lower third with the characters and their bright hair and stuff. I think it's a really smart design.
It's Dynamite. It's like one of the off publishers that put it off too. One of the
Yeah, I was trying to look it up. Is there a trade dress on this, or is it really the negative space up top, just all black?
I think this was the. I think there's another cover.
They probably sometimes they'll solicit, like when they're trying to get stuff out for solicits in time, they'll put out just the art without the trade dress on it because they haven't had it designed up yet. So that might be what we're looking at here.
Can you tell if somebody's done it digitally or if they've done it with pen and pad or just by looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, most colors these days are done digitally. So that is always kind of a given. I'd have to see this one closer up to know if it's like drawn digitally as well. But with this style, it wouldn't surprise me if it was, just because it is such a high contrast, like clean look to it. You don't see a lot of the telltale kind of like organic marks.
I was looking at the lines and I was wondering.
So
that could also just be the way they draw too.
Luca Vasuelo.
Okay.
Massive.
Yeah, I'll have to look up their work. I like this.
Yeah, I closed up on their faces. It's got like a Brian Lee O'Malley, almost like a Scott Pilgrim like look in the faces, like the way the
Yeah,
heads are kind of drawn.
for sure.
So that is that cover. It's just like that. There's not another one with that. There's 5. There's like 4 different covers. Let me find it again. And I'll bring up my screen.
I do like the homage though. I definitely like that.
There's nothing better than a cult classic homage cover. Because
well, it's better than getting like all the 300 covers that we get.
Yeah, you want another ASM 300?
No, we've had.
I mean,
enough.
maybe if you put the Clockwork Orange guys on there.
Yeah, I don't think that would make it okay. I think I've seen it enough.
It is.
I said maybe.
Here. I'll share my screen real quick.
What are you looking for now?
I was going to show you all the covers.
Like
it really matters.
It matters to me.
So it's
oh wow, there's a lot of covers.
Wow, there are a lot of covers there.
Is this all the same? Yeah, it's all number 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Sarah, was it Sarah Leon?
It looks like he did 3 covers. And I bet you he did this one too. So
It's kind of got a vibe of like Brian Lee O'Malley meets Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
okay, so let's go back.
Yeah,
This
that's
is what I
it is.
dedicated to I had Taco Bell, and the Taco Bell has left the building cover.
Golden Rage number 5, Nate cover.
Everybody has had Taco Bell and had to bite down on something as the smoke is coming out of their ass from having Taco Bell.
There's no tears though. No tears in the eye.
Biting down on a wooden spork.
This ain't her first rodeo.
Yeah.
She
Can't
knew it was
hold
gonna
back
be
tears forever.
She knew it was going to be a tough sell because she put the war paint on because she's getting ready to go to war.
You know, another smart cover design though. You know, you got that kind of like A-frame design to it, like the composition, and you know, high contrast. You got, you know, the strong kind of yellow and orange glow in the center to draw your eye right to it. So, yeah, it's a good one.
Are you sure it's war paint, or do you think the fingers went through the toilet paper?
No, it's.
I like that font.
All right.
You like the font?
I do.
That's your favorite part of this cover. Is the
Yeah,
font.
that's
Have
what
you
got
guys-
my eye.
Have you guys read this one? This is the first time I'm hearing of it, and I'm assuming it's about a, you know, golden age, golden rage. It's like a play on you got an angry old lady kind of thing happening.
I think it's like, I imagine it being like the Golden Girls meets Lord of the
Yeah.
Flies.
So it's like Last Ronin, but with the Golden Girls. One of them
There-
survives, and she's going to take everybody else out.
Which one do you think would be the last surviving golden girl if there was one? Like
Sophia Loren, not yeah, no.
The tall one.
Betty
Sophia
White,
Petrillo.
Rose.
Sophia. Yeah, Rose.
The old-
The
Rose?
really
No,
old
one,
one. What's her name?
Yeah.
Sophia,
would've killed all
she
of
was
Sophia.
actually
Not
like,
Sophia Loren, just Sophia.
you know what's funny is
Yeah.
she wasn't even the oldest cast member. She just played the oldest one.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
That is.
Which was
Well, the thing that always gets me are those memes that show, you know, Rose. Is it Rose or no? The other one. Who was like the sultry one, the sexy one?
Blanche.
one.
Slutty
Blanche.
one.
They'll show a
Blanche.
picture of Blanche and say Jennifer Lopez is the same age as Blanche, like now, like on that show, they're the same age.
Isn't that wild? I mean,
That
you know,
thing
some of that,
messes me up.
yeah, some
It's
of that
the
was
perm.
certainly wardrobe and haircuts and stuff, but also like people just looked older like 30 years ago. Like you'll see
They're all
footage of
smoking
like,
cigarettes
my wife
and
was talking about,
yeah,
like,
Yeah, it was
oh,
the
we were
style.
watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we were looking at we were watching Lionel Richie get inducted, and when he was in, you know, the late 60s into early 70s, he looked old as fuck.
there it's something
And I think it
about
was like
yeah.
big chops and the
It's a makeup artist.
suits. It had to have been because it was like he looked
W-
old as fuck back then.
When you
like he
have
almost-
just a mustache
Yeah.
it ages you 10 years.
Exactly. Just the
It's like-
mustache is an old.
Yeah,
look.
it's like, you know how if a car has a single racing stripe that's like 10 visual horsepower, it's like you just think that car is that much faster. Like that's what a mustache does to you, you know?
It adds at least 10 to 15 years on you.
Yeah.
All right. Next we
Jesus,
got
right. Next one is a Fantastic Four number
Mm.
2 Alex Ross cover. Beautiful Alex Ross cover.
Dude, that is one I'm definitely going to be picking up. Because
Alex Ross is what got me
Yeah, this one-
like wanting to be a comic book artist. I saw his stuff and
Yeah.
I was just like, wait, you can do that? Like you can make them look like real people? Like because I had never seen it like that before. And I was
Yeah.
hooked from then on.
dude, there's
Yeah.
just something about
That's a cool font. I'm looking at the. I like the way the spacing is on the 4.
Yeah, that's nice.
Monophile.
I look at fonts a lot.
We're not talking about the fonts. Alex
Well,
Ross
but
didn't do
that
the
brings
fonts.
it. But what if it was out? What about if the font was missing?
Hey!
If the font was missing, it would just.
Yeah,
It
I
would
mean-
still be a beautiful cover.
But it'd
Remember
be
when the font
3
was
inches of
dark?
space that needs to be filled.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I think that the font is really nice. Like I love
I'm
that
not the
graphic
only one
design
that
element.
just Becca, that's what she said when he said that.
3 inches of negative
Needed to be
space. Yeah.
You need. You
Hardman's the
gotta.
one
You
that
gotta
goes
throw
down
more
there.
in there.
The letter and the thing.
I thought it. I just didn't say it because I was like, and then I
See, I didn't
honestly,
think it
all right,
because
I'll be
nobody's
honest.
ever
So
said
I
it.
started looking at it, and I was like, Hartman, if you could think that's 3 inches, I got something to, some hard things to break to you.
No,
buddy,
it's
'cause
about 2.5.
I was like,
That's what he said.
yeah, we got a different idea of what 3 inches is. I think. but
All right, back to the Alex Ross.
Yeah. Beautiful
808
cover.
says Sue's tights are bunched up weird near her crotch.
Are you saying she has something? What?
You know what?
What's going on?
Speaking of custom figures, Alex Ross actually like made custom 12-inch figures of the Fantastic Four for that new book he did. And that's how I think he shoots a lot of the reference that
Yeah.
he paints from.
I
So,
saw him do something on YouTube, like actually
Yeah.
filming and showing how he did it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really
Well,
cool.
I mean, I'll tell you,
So-
this image does not do this cover justice. When you look at this cover in person, it's that much more stunning, honestly.
I'm curious about this one because
Do you
it,
think
it
this
looks
looks-
like it's like a character design that they were just like, that painting is so good, let's make it a cover. Because it doesn't, his covers have like design elements to them and like a composition. And this is just like this looks like a photo still from an old black and white.
Yeah, I think this is an extra.
something
This is
or
just a variant that they.
Yeah, they must have been like, we gotta, print some money, put Alex put one of his things on it.
Like all those timeless.
Better than the
variants.
timeless variants? You think this looks better than the timeless ones?
I think it
I don't know
fits
if I
right in
saw
there.
those.
Yeah. I mean, it was a black and white. Those were all color.
It
I like
does
it.
kind of look like she has 3. I see it. Right. Full of surprises.
Just watching Total Recall earlier.
Oh yeah, because of the way the light is. But that's it. That's all of our covers.
the quick flash of the dodgeball picture. Look, he's just
Flash
little
of
messages
news
in
and
there.
everything.
Fight Club over here.
We don't have any anime news because Sam's not here.
Yeah, he went to go be the songbird of our generation and sing Christmas carols, so he's not here.
Yeah, he's,
Is that what he's doing?
he's
Yeah.
in church and singing Christmas carols.
You're going caroling, huh?
We're going door to door.
It's awkward.
I've never lived
Better than
anywhere
selling-
where people do that.
Yeah, you wouldn't be welcome to
I thought it was just a
It's strictly
movie.
a TV thing.
ironically.
open the door. We don't want anything. And shut it. No, not interested.
Like, I don't care if you're
Solicitors.
putting in somebody's roof up the street. I didn't ask for you to come by my house.
Get out here. If it snowed in Phoenix, I'd throw snow at you. So
You want snow moved to Flagstaff?
But we're not selling anything. We're just going to sing to you.
That's worse.
No, thank you. You got a candy bar to sell me too, or what? Need more than that.
Yeah, take my money, don't take my time.
Yeah.
What if they were selling something, but like they were singing it? That would actually that might get my 5 minutes at the door. Despite
when
I
I'm
wouldn't
done
tap
eating
the no
it,
soliciting sign, you know.
Why did you get solar panels? They sang their pitch. At this
I'm chewing on a Fifth Avenue bar while they're singing. You guys got a little bit of time left here.
Yeah, you guys saw I finished this bar.
But you're selling me
really
another.
landed it with the chorus though. That really brought me in.
So
Wanna
what
wait and
was
hear how this
your
turns out.
favorite work to work on? Like what finally broke you into comics, and what because I was looking at a lot of your work, and it's pretty cool. So what was that first thing where they're finally like, because that's what a lot of artists and writers go through is, how do I break into this?
Yeah.
And what finally got you? Because I'm sure you've been drawing and writing for a while, and what finally got you to break through and was like, you're like, yes, welcome.
How many times did you submit?
You see, he was going door to door singing Christmas carols and said,
Right.
"I have nothing to sell, but I can make you a custom toy." And
He said,
make
"This
you
guy's
some
gonna be a
artwork."
star.
Boom cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I saw kind of two paths forward into comics. There was the going to conventions and, you know, standing in line for portfolio reviews with different editors all weekend. And then I also noticed that people were just making stuff and putting it out, and then eventually they would get hired to do other stuff, you know. And after doing the portfolio review line thing for a bit, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna make some shit, because what ends up happening is, like, you know, art is all subjective, and people have different ideas and opinions on what needs to be on a comic book page and what doesn't, etc. And it's really down to the individual. So you'd stand in line for an hour to talk to an editor, and they'd say, "I love the way you draw faces. I don't like the way you draw bodies," or something. And then the next editor would tell you the exact opposite. I don't like your faces so much, but your bodies look great, or whatever. So I was just like, well, how do you get anywhere with this? And so I was just on message boards. You know, this is back before, like, Twitter was just kind of starting, but people weren't using it like in the way they do now to find collaborators and stuff. So I would go on like Pencil Jack and Digital Webbing and the Bendis boards and look for writers who were looking for an artist. And I'd see what they had going on. And then I realized, you know what? The publishers want to see how you draw their characters. So then I would find writers and I would say, look, I don't want to draw your like 250 page epic based on you and your friend's D&D campaign that you're trying to turn into a graphic novel and you've never written anything before. But
damn it, I was gonna offer that.
Yeah. But if you want to write a 5-page, it's like, but if you want to write a 5-page, you know, Wolverine thing, like, I'll draw it. Then we both have a portfolio sample piece, and who knows, you know. And from there I started to go like, you know what, I actually want to like maybe write my own stories. So I put out, you know, a single issue thing that I wrote and drew and colored myself. And Ed Brisson actually lettered it. This is back before he was a big shot writer and he was just lettering stuff freelance. So I've known him for, you know, like 12 years now. But and then I was just kind of like floating around doing that stuff and you know, going to conventions and handing out, you know, I'd print up little like mini sort of lookbook portfolio things that, you know, try to make them look all professional and hand them out to editors and stuff. And then I joined a local studio that had a bunch of people in it. And one of them was like, hey, you should meet this buddy of mine. He's got a crime comic he's trying to do called High Crimes. So he introduced me to Chris Sabella, who you guys are probably familiar with. And we basically did this book High Crimes like for free under our own steam over the period of like 3 years. It was like a 250 page book or something, not based on his D&D campaign or anything. And we got that published digitally through Monkey Brain, which was like a Comixology exclusive thing. And then from there, somebody at Dark Horse saw it and said, hey, do you guys want to put out the print edition through us? And so this book is what got the ball rolling for us. It was like, we were showing up, we were putting our best foot forward, and we were showing what we were, you know, capable of. And then from there, it was just, you know, up to editors to go, hey, we like what you did for you. Why don't you do that for us? So that's how I slid my way in.
Nice.
Awesome.
That Turtles cover.
That was
Really
a
Big
With the
this
split
Turtles
shadow.
cover.
thank you. Yeah, you can tell the 2 inches up top for the trade dress.
What is that called? Like the dots behind it.
The Band-Aid dot?
That is technically it's a halftone pattern, but
Okay.
there's when you see it like the way like James Herron and Danny Warren Johnson and those guys do it, like how or like in manga, that is like
For
screen
printing,
tone
right?
pattern. Yeah, those are actually like they're printed on a clear sheet and it has an adhesive back, and so you cut it out and paste it onto the art itself. And I think what a lot of people do, because it's expensive and you got to import it from Japan, so I think a lot of people, including myself, like I scanned it, and then when I wanted to use it, I would just paste it in as if I were cutting out an actual sheet of it, and just do it in Photoshop.
Because I know it has that option for thermal printers for that, and I thought that was a little cool addition.
Yeah,
The
it's
only problem I have with it is the font.
No, that doesn't need the font because it's got the half toning.
Yeah, this one was I think it was like a 1 in 25 or 1 in 50 variant or something. I can't remember. This was, I mean, Turtles is like, I was born in 85, so Turtles are like, I learned to tell time because I knew that Ninja Turtles came on at a certain time, and I just had to figure out what the hell that meant so I could,
Oh, there you
go.
Did you watch any anime?
I didn't. I've enjoyed some over the years, but I've never been like an anime kid.
Oh, you got to watch Chainsaw Man.
We didn't have much.
I was going to ask if you saw. God, there was a samurai shows. Can't think of what the hell it's called now. They had all these different colors. Shonen Warriors, I think was.
No, I've never heard of that one. I'll have to look that up.
Came on before Mega Man came on in the morning.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I did used to watch Mega Man sometimes because I think it was on before something else I wanted to watch. And
it was on that. They had the show with the Mario that looked like Ron Jeremy, live action.
That's right.
Yeah, and they would show clips and Legend of Zelda and stuff during that.
It's Captain Lou, man.
Way to sell it. Way to sell it.
So when you got some coverage here for DC, what was it like when DC called you?
It was great. Yeah, I mean, I was a DC kid. I like Marvel too, obviously, but I mean, DC was, Superman is like the whole reason I got into comics because I loved the Reeve movies when I was a little kid. And then, my parents got me. My very first comic was John Byrne's Man of Steel #2. And it's the one where he, like, Lois basically like sets herself up to like drive off a bridge so that Superman will rescue her so she can get an exclusive interview with him. And it came with a little cassette tape, and they had actors doing the dialogue, and there were sound effects and stuff. And so, like, that's how I learned to read, was pairing up the word balloons with the dialogue and stuff. So
that background,
yeah,
dope. It almost looks like vectorized. They're vector.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this was for Mother Panic Gotham AD, which was like a sort of like future Gotham book. And in this issue, she came up against the Joker, so that's why it's kind of got the like Joker color scheme with the bloody smile. That was a fun book for sure. It was like an Elseworlds future Gotham thing, so we got to like
that was what's his name?
Interesting cover.
Animal or something? The little imps,
Young Animal. Yep. Yeah.
Gerard Way.
So Jody Hauser wrote that, and I drew it. Yeah, and it was all like curated by Gerard Way.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
What kind of got you into doing the custom action figures thing? Because I mean, let me tell you, I think your last Ronin figure is probably the best figure I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you, man. So funnily enough, it was the 1990 Ninja Turtles, which is what I used as a base figure for that last Ronin. I'd always been into figures, and when the McFarlane Matrix toys came out, they just blew my mind because I was like, again, it was similar to Alex Ross. Like, you can do that. Like, it was this little frozen moment in time where Neo is doing the cartwheel with the gun, and like Trinity's running up a wall and stuff, and they looked like shrunken little people. Like, it was completely realistic. It wasn't like cartoony proportions or, so I used to try to, when I was like 15, 16, I tried sculpting my own little Neo out of clay and stuff. And so that was kind of the very beginning, but it wasn't until probably about 4 years ago now, 5 years ago, NECA put out, NECA, for those who don't know, is a really great action figure company. And they put out these movie accurate 1990 Turtles, right?
Mhm.
And it was yeah, Tyson. Yeah. Although Lois knew what she was doing. She had an oxygen tank in her car, and Superman knew it. And it was very like, oh, that's why you have an oxygen tank in your car.
Unlike the movie when she just jumped into Niagara Falls.
Right. That movie sucks. Superman 2 is not good. Everybody's like, oh, it's so great. It's not a good movie.
Throwing my logo at you. It's a net.
Yeah, the Donner cut was better, but I'm a Superman 4 apologist, so what do I know? But yeah, so NECA put out these turtles, and they had been solicited, and they were like a very limited quantity. It was a San Diego exclusive that you could order online, and they sold out within the first like 5 minutes. And they did it over a period of 3 days, and I didn't know if I was going to get one. And I had found these other turtles that were like from Playmates that were supposed to be based on the movie, but they were not as, believable or realistic looking. But I thought I could sculpt some alternate heads for these. So that's kind of how I started, is I made alternate movie-based heads for those Playmates figures in case I couldn't get the NECA ones. And then I secured those, so I moved on, and I was like, okay, well, what else? I really want a John Wick action figure, and at the time, there were none. Now there's, a ton of them you could get. But so I used one of those aforementioned McFarlane Matrix figures, and I turned the Keanu head into a John Wick, and I made a little diorama for it that was based on one of the scenes in the movie, and then it was just down the rabbit hole from there. I just became like super obsessed with it and have been doing it pretty consistently. Now I have a YouTube channel where I make them and showcase my stuff. So yeah, it's just my name on YouTube. If you look that up, you'll see all that good stuff on there.
Do you sell your custom figures and stuff too, or?
Not usually. I've made a couple that I've sold only because I wanted to make them really badly, but I didn't they didn't fit into my collection, like I took a I love like 1/12 scale, like Mezco style figures, like soft goods, kind of like a shrunken down Hot Toys figure.
Okay.
And so I had a Mezco 1/12 Thor from Ragnarok, and I wanted to make a classic looking Thor out of it. So I did that, but I don't really have like an Avengers collection in that scale because Mezco never really made any beyond like Spider-Man and Thor. So I ended up selling that one. And then I made a Deadpool out of a Netflix Daredevil figure, same line, Mezco. Just to kind of see if I could do it. And then I was like, well, I like Deadpool well enough, but I don't have like a Deadpool shelf. So I sold that one too. But everything else is pretty much like, I want it. It doesn't exist. So I make it for my own collection.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
What IP does make it to your shelf?
What's that?
What IP does make it to your shelf? What do you gravitate to?
So I really like stuff based on just like the movies and shows that I love. And some are comics and stuff. Yeah, here's my YouTube channel. So as you can see, kind of smack dab in the middle there, I made that Michael Knight, and I'm working on the car to go with him. A big section of my collection is like characters and the sort of iconic vehicles that go with them. So I've got, different Batmobiles, and I made that Batman animated series figure right there on the left to go with the DC Collectibles Batmobile that they made, because that thing is just incredible. And the Batman Batmobile from the new movie, that was actually an RC car that just happened to come out on the right scale, so I just painted it up to make it look dirty and weathered and stuff. And
nice.
I scratch built a tumbler pretty much for my Batman Begins figure. So what I did was I found a play set from Batman Begins that like folds out to be like, open it up to reveal Gotham City, play as the
Yeah.
Batman, you know, one of those things. And I just like took the shell of it and like hollowed it out and added the stuff that should be there that wasn't. And I got actual like rubber RC truck tires for it instead of like the cheapy plastic ones that were on it, and put lights on it and stuff. I made a whole like, you know, basically like as screen accurate as I could get it Tumblr. So I actually have the process of that up on the channel in the longer videos up top there. And I've got a whole Nolan Batman display, and you know, so that's the kind of stuff that generally, yeah, like Terminator figures I've been making. That Matrix diorama there was a couple of custom Matrix figures that I made. So mostly
I'll
stuff
have
that
to
just
commission you. I'll commission you to do a Sam and Dean Winchester with their Impala.
You know, it's funny
Oh,
that Michael Knight is actually a Sam Winchester head that I got a hold of, and I just sculpted onto it because I was trying to figure out what could I use for a Hasselhoff, and I was going through my bin of little tiny heads, and I bought that one just because I was like, you know, I get them from this guy in Canada, you know, he shrinks them down from like Hot Toys scale and stuff, and I was like, well, I'll use this for something. He's like a generic enough looking dude that I could probably like repurpose it. And his features just like lined up super well with like a young Hasselhoff. I just had to like bulk out his cheekbones and his jawline and give him the curly hair, and I was in business.
This is really cool right here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that thing is huge. You can actually see it kind of on my shelf here in the background. So I got all 4 Ghostbusters on there, and then yeah, that thing took a while to make. It was pretty involved.
That's cool. I remember doing that stuff like when I was a kid. I'd paint my old, you know, Marvel Secret Wars figures to be somebody else because they were all pretty, you know, nondescript. Like if you got them, but
it's fun, man. You know, yeah, I once drawing became my job. Like I was like, I needed another kind of creative outlet, you know, that wasn't like work that I owed to somebody, and so I just started doing this as kind of like a fun way to decompress, and it's been a lot of fun, man. I'm really enjoying it, and it's been fun to like share it on YouTube, and you know, there's a whole community of people that customize stuff. And
somebody in the chat asked if you'd seen the Dragon Ball cell shaded figures that they're doing now online. They're repainting
I did see those. Yeah, those are pretty cool. There's kind of a NECA does that too with certain figures, like when they put out their cartoon turtle line, they all had the kind of like dark outlines in the crevices and stuff.
It's almost like an illusion when you look at it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Somebody named Hartman Cards, aka Card A West.
Ask that question. With no affiliation. I don't know. It seems cool though.
No affiliation.
No, that's cool, man. That's
Fall Guy.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it takes a decent amount of time.
With that pickup.
I put trailers for my books in all these videos. That's why when you hover over them, it doesn't really like show much of what's happening in the video because the trailers are always at the front.
I saw that Vader one you did. That was crazy. Or did you do the Vader one?
No, I haven't. I'm not really a Star Wars guy, so I haven't really.
I clicked on your Instagram and was looking through it, and somehow there's a Vader with his face missing. Maybe it was one of the editions that you were tagged in it.
Could be. It might have been like
Star Trek guy.
I never got into any of the Star stuff.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I just it was never shown to me as a kid, you know, and I just kind of like sort of missed out on it. And then I eventually got into, you know, watching them, but I think without having that nostalgia factor, like it just doesn't really resonate the same way as if I had seen it when I was like a little kid.
Do you use any special brushes or anything like that, or do you use like the Gundam type deal?
No, just pretty much like a, you know, cheap brush pack off of Amazon or from, I think I even got one from like the grocery store that was just like an assortment. Because that's the thing. A lot of people get really caught up in like, you got to have the exact right tools, you know. Thank you, Tyson. But really, like, it's just about doing the work. I find, I mean, I do have to have like a real tiny brush for like detailed stuff, but other than that, yeah, I just get general acrylics that are like, paint that costs like $1.50 at Michael's Crafts or whatever.
Been using makeup brushes, $1.25
Yeah.
dollar store makeup brushes.
Those are really good for like. They're also really good for dusting your figures. Like if you get like one of those like soft blush applicator brushes, like
I'm stoked
you don't knock anything over, and
Yeah.
What's that?
What'd you say, Kyle?
So I'm glad you used Leto. The Leto
Oh
Joker?
yeah, well I was making the nightmare version of Joker from the Snyder cut because I had that. I had a Leto Joker figure with an extra head, and I was like, and I had the Mezco Nightmare Batman, and I was like, you know what, that'd be a pretty quick and easy custom. Like I just had to get some, like a white lab coat and turn it backwards on him. So, and then I had a Marvel Legends movie cable vest and some badges from like some NECA Terminator police figures that I had several of. So I just I try to use every part of the Buffalo,
Yeah.
So you had a Jared Leto action figure or that you painted?
Yeah, so I had there's a brand called
Did I lose
Medicom that has
it
a
damage?
line called Mafex. It's similar to like SH Figure Arts if you're familiar with those. And I got like a package deal on a bunch on eBay. And so I had this, Jared Leto Joker figure, and it came with a swappable head, and the head was just in a box because you can only put one head on the figure at a time. So I was like, so let me see if I can, repurpose this into something else. That's how I try to use everything I have, so I'm not like throwing plastic into a landfill as much as possible.
Yeah, so you're really reworking like other things that you're fine, repurposing them more so than like straight fabricating something new for this stuff, which I think is pretty cool.
It's a little of both. Like sometimes I will completely make something from scratch out of like fabric and styrene, which are like plastic sheets that you can manipulate.
Yeah. I'm sure some stuff
other times I'll take stuff from one figure, put it on another, and then like pieces of armor from a tactical Justice League Batman, and I made like a Days of Future Past Wolverine by doing that, by using like the shoulder pieces to make the little like in the movie and stuff. So yeah, and then I'll have that piece sitting, that figure that I've like pillaged parts from, and I'll save that for like I'll use that at some point.
Yeah, you might need it for something.
And I usually
thought you had an actual Jared Leto figure, and I was like, oh, I need one of those for my shelf. What you should do is get the another one of those Joker heads, clean it so it looks like his face, put long blonde brownish brown hair on it, and have him like singing.
If I were a huge Jared Leto fan, I probably would. But
what's his band? 30 Seconds to Mars? Is that his?
30 seconds to awesomeness.
I liked him as the Joker. I know he was very controversial and a lot of people didn't, but like I thought it was a cool take. I thought the tattoos were stupid, but I like the kind of gangster Joker. I mean, look, nobody was gonna top Ledger, right? So you got to do something different, and I thought it was cool that they went for it.
No, his original band was Frozen Embryos.
What?
There you go.
That was from My So-Called Life. That was what his band was. My So-Called Life.
Oh God, I forgot he was on that.
My So-Called Life.
At least he didn't use his status to push his band up. You got to get him for that one.
Yeah.
I think it was the opposite.
No, he didn't want his name attached to it because he thought that would push his music in the light. So him and his brother, they had some type of deal where they were trying to keep it as behind the scenes as possible. I'm a member of his church.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did you see Terry's? Knock! Where you coming? Knock!
No, I didn't see you playing with your dolls. It's not a doll, it's an action figure.
It's a collectible.
Oh, you should see. I mean, God, my office is like there's a couple hundred of these things in here easily.
Do you ever have something that you start and just stop and set it aside for
Yes.
when you feel creative?
Yeah, my Knight Rider thing. In fact, I was working on it, and my dog got really sick and eventually passed, and I just like couldn't touch it for months because like, you know, it was just kind of, I think too much association with it, you know. And other times I'll just get really excited about another idea, and then I just jump over to that. Like that's the nice thing about, because it's a hobby, I can just kind of chase the endorphins. Like I don't have to like, you know, making a YouTube channel has kind of made me have to rein it in a bit, because, you know, I can't like start a thing and then
not finish
not
it.
get back to it. Yeah. Which is what I did with the Knight Rider thing. I'm actually, you know, it's been a few months since I updated that one, so I'm working on it this weekend, but yeah.
So what are you working on now then? Like anything that
Knight Rider.
I know not personally. I'm talking about like
comics wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done a couple covers for DC recently, some that have come out, some that are about to. And then I'm working on, so with my books Count and Retroactive that came out over the last couple of years, those are out through Humanoids, which for those unfamiliar, Humanoids is like this prestige French, you know, sci-fi publisher that was like known for the Incal and Mobius's work and stuff like that.
Okay. When you
and
said
so
it, I sound familiar. Okay. I know
yeah, most people
looks
know
amazing.
Humanoids books, they just don't always know the
I'm serious.
You know, so was that Cardi?
The font on your
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I said,
thank you.
Not joking.
Which one for
the retroactive?
Thank you. I actually designed that one myself, and then sent it to them, and then their art director like redid it, you know, in a more like printable way, because mine was a little rough, but yeah. Or it was raster, not vector, because I didn't want to bust out Illustrator and mess with all that. But
yeah.
But yeah, so I have a 3-book deal with them, and so I'm working on my 3rd book right now. I just actually am about to finish pencils for the whole thing, and then I'm going to go straight into inking it. So I don't know when it's going to be announced or out yet, but yeah, I'm excited about it. It's fun. It's, you know, getting to do my own thing there is pretty great. Like I don't, you know, have to like, I like collaborating with people, but it can be tough, like drawing from someone else's writing, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to add visuals to something that they thought of like a month ago, and they don't always remember, or like they're not always visual thinkers, you know, as writers. So it's kind of like having somebody pick out your clothes for you, and you're like, I can dress myself, you know, like so.
Kyle, what's your favorite medium to work in? Like, what's been like the most, where you know, the one that popped your collar the most? You know, like when you're done.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm still a pen and ink guy. I work digitally about half the time on, like, all my pencils are digital, and then I print them out on paper and ink over them.
So you go the opposite then.
Well, most people nowadays just do digital straight, like all the way through. And a lot of people still do what I do, I think, where it's like you work it out digitally, because if there are notes from the editor, you can change them easily because it's all on separate layers, and you know, you can resize things and move them around. Whereas like if you do it on paper, you got to redraw everything.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Start all over.
yeah. So then you can print it out at like a, you know, low opacity, so the lines are kind of ghosted on the paper, and then kind of solidify it with ink from there. I just love the way that like pens and ink on brushes and stuff like reacts to the paper, you know, like and when you work digitally, a lot of times you're just trying to sort of capture what the real thing does. There's nothing wrong with that. It's definitely more efficient, and it can be faster in a lot of ways, but it's not what I love about drawing. You know, what I love is like the different feels, whereas like when you're using a stylus on glass, like it doesn't matter what kind of brush, it all feels the same, you know?
Yeah.
Terry, I'll do some work with some cheeseburgers too.
That's interesting.
You can
usually
incorporate meat.
Usually, I mean, from my perspective, you see the artists doing like pencils and then uploading it digitally to their iPad or whatever to do the final lines and the inking and all that. So that's interesting that you go the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think most people. I think that's actually a pretty rare thing these days is to do the pencils first and then digital. Just because you're sort of like, I guess for the reasons I was mentioning, where it's like if you have to rework it, like you gotta like erase it and start over. Whereas
Yeah.
like digital, you can just go like, make them a little bigger, But yeah, some people still like that sort of like, I guess the freedom of working loosely on paper and like it's a little easier to do that on the couch sometimes if you're trying to hang with family or watch a movie or whatever and just kind of relax. And then yeah, I like to have all of the control up front so that I can really like get it planned out and just so that by the time I print it out, I can ink anywhere and I can, like it's all the hard work is done and now I'm just cruising doing the fun part.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you would think you'd have more control with the straight pencil and paper versus the like offset of your pencil on like an iPad or whatever digital program you're using. That would, you would think they'd be the other one, but that's cool that you do that. Do it digitally and then print it out and ink it. That's
yeah, it's kind of
that's skill, I guess I'm trying to say. Mad skill.
Well, thank you. It's been a long process of like trial and error, figuring out what works the best for me, and I mean that's my personal preference. Like other people, they'll work on paper and then they'll light box the different elements. So they'll actually have like a backlit like table.
Tracers.
Yeah.
And they'll take what worked
tracing their own stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, as long as somebody else didn't draw it, you're good,
So you're a tracer, huh? Oh shit. So what else do you
have
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to ask if you had a stand on like homage covers and like we were talking about Peach Momoko earlier, or they were too, using like the same images in different formats.
Greg Land. The same position and just different versions of Gwen on doing the same pose and same position.
And redoing the image.
It's interesting
Do you
because,
like-
well, Greg Land is a special case because he's known to swipe from other artists. Like that's a thing, so him swiping himself doesn't surprise me, right? Like I have, I will generally be very cordial toward colleagues in the way I speak about them, but not when they swipe. I think that's nasty behavior. Like you're stealing someone else's hard work at that point, like somebody else did the work to learn to draw that thing in a way that, sparks interest and joy in people. And someone like him sees it and goes, yeah, I'm going to take that. Like that's fucked up,
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Homage covers, I don't really enjoy doing them because I like to design a cover like from the ground up, and I don't like to be pigeonholed into somebody else's vision of a thing because like the way that, even if it's a classic cover, like, and I respect that, like that's not how I would draw it. And that's not how, I want to get that information across. So I don't personally enjoy doing them, but I think they're fun and I think they serve their purpose for sure. Like people love stuff that they know, you know what I mean? Like,
True.
And we see that with comics. That's why they do so many variants that are like based on a movie or like, because it's recognition. People go, I like that. It reminds me of something that makes me happy. I'm going to buy it,
I need to have it.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you say it limits the artist doing homage covers?
It depends on the artist. Like it limits me for sure, but like some people love it because it's like, you took the hard work away from me. I don't have to come up with a design. Let me just like rework this movie poster into being about Spider-Man or whatever. Like hell yeah, So I mean, I had one of those recently that didn't end up like they ended up canceling the thing that it was for, so it never went anywhere. But it was a cover based on like the good, the bad, and the ugly. So like
Okay.
I was like, wait, so you want me to literally just draw a character standing there like in a white background with a like a kind of a Clint Eastwood grimace on their face? Yeah, I'll do that. Like that's an easy assignment, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it can be fun, but
Yeah, I don't mind homage covers if they haven't been done over and over and over and over and over and over, like a 300 or a Spider-Man 1. You know, if you're doing something different, you know, good on you. But if you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing,
I want to
think
do a
you
Michael
limit
Jordan Spider-Man
that.
cover
Where Duncan, yeah.
with that 300. Like I'm in the works of doing one. It won't be a cover; it'll be mine.
yeah, I mean,
That's all right.
you know, mashup stuff can be fun, right? Like when you see a thing, it's like, oh, it's like Terminator, but it's Bloodshot or whatever. You know, like that's
Yeah.
cool. Like we go like, oh, it's two great tastes that go great together, right? But
There you go.
yeah, from a creative perspective, I don't enjoy it as much because it's like, well, let me see what I can really do with this. You know.
Tyson says he understands. That's why he doesn't have a tattoo, because that's someone else's vision on his body.
Dude, same. Yeah, like I mean, you know, if because I don't have any, and I was planning to get one, you know, like an homage to my dog that we lost, and so I was going to design it and I was going to make it kind of simple, you know, but I was like, I feel like I would look at what they did and not be happy with it, and
Yeah.
that's on me forever. So I'd rather not, you know.
I was told that Santa doesn't approve of tattoos, so I never got one.
You know, yeah. I mean, I just never really like. I have this weird thing where I'm like, I don't want any identifying marks on me. I like that
In case
kind
you
of
commit a
anonymity.
crime.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know.
I'm just more
I
indecisive.
get it.
Like your point, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna regret it a week later. Like, damn it, that's there forever now.
That's how I am. And nowadays, though, it's almost to the point where like it's more unique not to have tattoos because everybody has tattoos nowadays. So
And I'd
Glow
rather
in the dark ink.
spend that money on action figures, you know.
Yeah.
To answer that question though, from Joe's Duels, I think I personally love doing interiors. That's my favorite thing. I love like the storytelling of comics. I think covers are just like, you know, when you start to get hired for them, it's a good gig, so people do it because it's like you get paid, you know, like a decent amount of money per cover, and if you can crank out 3-4 covers a month, like a lot of times that's equivalent to doing like maybe half an issue to a full issue, depending on which publisher you're working for. And if you're somebody whose covers sell, I mean, you make way below the sort of like average minimum. Like, you know, like Adam Hughes probably makes, you know, $1,000 a cover minimum. That may even be like super lowballing him. Probably is.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they know his covers will sell. So it's kind of like they pay him a couple grand, but they're going to make way more than that back in the variant sales, you know? So
do you think that's why artists like Campbell, J. Scott Campbell, are like, well, if you're only going to pay me X amount for this cover and you're going to sell it for more than that, I'm just going to give you the same pose, same face, and just change it just a little bit.
Probably,
keep drawing my faces like cats, and you're just going to deal with it.
I think that dude probably has just checked out, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he's got his own
doing
story.
this for
He's
like,
gonna sell his own books now. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, and not to say checked out of drawing, but just like these work for hire things. Like, he's gonna make a ton of money. He's gonna get several copies that he can sell signed on his eBay store or through his art rep or whatever for, you know, a couple $100 a pop. And like, you know, I think some people get to a comfortable spot where they're like, they're going to put their energy into their own stuff. Or, I mean, he could probably just do the same thing for another 20 years and people would just gobble it up because they love his stuff, you know? So it's good work if you can get it, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Personally, I want to keep, you know, chasing that dragon of like, if trying to outdo myself or learn a new technique or whatever. But, you know, I'm also like younger in this game and where, you know, in my career and stuff. So maybe I'll get there one day where I'm just like, here you go.
do you like to try like different styles? Like, whether it be like I'm just going to do this one all digital, I'm going to do this one all pencil ink, I'm going to try to paint something. Like, how many different styles do you like to really like branch out to? Do you kind of stay in your wheelhouse of what you normally do?
No, I love trying different stuff. You know, sometimes you don't get the option to because you're just like, I don't have the time. I can't afford to experiment on this because if I screw up, it's going to have to start over. And that's like, you know, basically like money lost.
Yeah.
But I love painting and I love doing like mixed media stuff where it's like, you know, you're using all kinds of different stuff on the paper to try to make a cool image. And then sometimes I go like, you know what, I want to see if I can do this digitally. Like, so the last several covers I've done were all digitally painted because
Use Procreate.
I use it's called Clip Studio Paint, but it used to be called Manga Studio. It's very similar to Photoshop. It's just a little more catered toward comics. But yeah, and, you know, there's different custom brushes you can get and stuff like that, all trying to emulate the real thing.
The real thing. Well,
yeah, the difference is that, you know, if there are notes on it, you can change it. Whereas like once you've committed paint pigment to paper, like it's kind of it, you know. You have to start
I've
over.
noticed
Creative
that
going back.
the digital
Right.
apps have like stamps and stuff people are using now, like irises and things like that. Which I'm kind of torn on. I mean, it's cool to be able to just simply put a dot on the screen and make an iris, but
Right.
it kind of takes away from the ability to do it.
I agree, man. I think, you know, there's a valid argument to be made that like it's all a tool, right? If you're a mechanic and you can use a, you know, like a pneumatic wrench to remove lug nuts, why sit there and take a tire iron to it and jumping on it and trying to get it loose and shit like that, right?
But then when you have to do it live, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
right?
well, and I think that, I mean, for me, I'm just kind of like, then why are you drawing? Like, what's the fucking point if you're just
Yeah.
gonna like stamp it and do the
Yeah,
next,
it's like
you know what I mean?
a bunch of trees and stuff by just dragging your pen along the screen.
Yeah,
Good
it's
night.
like,
AI
Don't do
artists
that.
do it.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's like my
Adobe's
friends and I
doing
talk
that.
about that a lot, actually. Like there was a post recently where this artist was like, I made a brush of books, and you just, so if you draw a bookshelf from one angle, really, I mean, you just with the brush on the screen, and now you have a bunch of books, and it's like,
If you can do it originally, then I mean, if you made it yourself and like, you're able to draw a book correctly, then I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I mean, if you're just downloading other people's work like that and using it in your stuff, then
I think, yeah, in this case, this is one they made, but the thing about it is that like it just looks so sterile and lifeless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of little
Yeah.
rectangles. Like there's no variation in the thickness of the lines to indicate
Mhm.
like, you know, I mean, there's an art to inking where like if you're inking an arm, the line up here to outline it will be thinner and this one will be thicker, and that gives it weight. That shows you that gravity is going this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not everybody draws that way. Some people have a very consistent line weight throughout, but I don't know. To me, it's like, I guess like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? If you don't want to draw,
that's what I like
go
about
do something else.
Procreate. Like the pressure sensitivity and settings that you can adjust like that. I
Yeah.
find that really, really cool. But
You just like saying Procreate.
well, no, it's a cool ass app, man. It's amazing. Like I didn't do anything with drawing before I found out about Procreate. Like I was like, I can use my Apple Pen. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar to Photoshop and Manga Studio in that way. Like,
Someone tell us.
Leave him alone, Joe.
hey, that's a classic example of a guy who found a thing that works and gets a lot of money for it, and he's just riding that train, man. You know?
The foot fetish people don't enjoy it.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like that guy has such a zest for comics still. Like, I can't help but kind of root for it. You know, like.
Until you talk to him and he's a fucking dick.
That's what I was just saying. Like he's got such a zest for being a douche. Like,
See, I've never met him, and I don't follow him on Twitter or anything, so I don't really know like what his personal vibe is like. But
he blocked me a long time ago.
He looks like a dick.
So when you're approached by Marvel or DC or Dark Horse for a project, do they kind of tell you look, we want you to do this one digitally, or we want you to do this in pencil or watercolor? Do they kind of tell you what they're looking for, or they just leave it completely up to you? They're like, this is what we want. This is what we're, this is kind of our idea. Go and show me what you got.
No, they generally don't care how you do it at all. In my experience, I think if you were to tell them like, hey, I want to paint this one like fully, they would probably be like, well, let's talk about that because it takes longer.
Can you paint it in like a couple of days? Or
yeah. But I mean, if you can get it done, like I think that's really all they care about. I'm lucky that I've been doing some work for hire stuff peppered in with my creator-owned stuff, but for the most part, I'm doing the books like how I want to do them and telling the story I want to tell. So it's really just kind of like I send a script to the editor and they let me know if they think anything doesn't make sense continuity wise, or if there's any spelling errors or whatever, and then I'm just kind of off to the races doing my own thing. So cool. In that respect, I can kind of do whatever I want as long as I'm on schedule.
So do you just do like those jobs of like, oh man, there's sweet new action figures coming out and I need to make $3,000 real quick to hop on this. So let me just take up this real quick Marvel job and away I go.
Honestly, I mean, it's a couple reasons. It's a fun exercise to like step away from this thing that, like these books I'm doing are 120 pages, which is the equivalent of 6 issues, right? So it's nice to kind of like pop off over to Marvel and do a one shot with a character I know and love, and then go back to my own thing. Another big reason for me is like it helps you sell your personal stuff, like you got to get your name out there in stores, comic shops who do their ordering need to know who you are, and if they see your name in a Marvel book, they might remember it, and then when your own stuff comes out, they go, oh yeah, it's the same for readers. Yeah, I mean, a big reason why I started my YouTube channel was to basically make long commercials for my books. I put the trailer in the video, and then I'm like, now watch me make this action figure, so where did I get my
how often do they reach out to you?
It just kind of depends. Like usually an editor will be like, oh, we think he would be good for this because of the way he draws a certain thing. It reminds them of this book, or like like I did some James Bond work, and because of that, I did an issue of Detective that actually never ended up coming out because it was an inventory issue. So it was like if they needed something to fill in the schedule, they would put it out, but they stayed on schedule, so they didn't need it. But it was like That's Bruce Wayne kind of in a tux sneaking around a thing, right? So they were like, oh, the James Bond guy would be good at this, right? So there'll be stuff like that. Sometimes you just reach out to an editor or their talent director, and we'll be like, hey man, I have a hole in my schedule coming up if you guys need me for anything. And then he'll put the word out to editorial, and then somebody in the X office will need a fill in on this thing or whatever. So it can happen that way.
Do they reach out to you though, or do you have like a guy that they call to get to you? Or
no, they'll just email me directly and hey, are you available for this thing? And then we check schedules, and if it works, then I'm like, hell yeah, send me the script.
They're old school. They still send a raven to his house.
Yeah. Back to the previous question. I'm self-taught, so I pretty much just like I've been drawing my whole life. I mean, I've taken art classes as electives because they're easy A kind of thing, and I've definitely learned stuff in them. Like I think I learned the most from a watercolor class I took at community college, and a life drawing class where you're like actually drawing live models in the room and really learning about anatomy and stuff. Yes. And it's very weird at first. And then everybody just gets used to it. But mostly just self-taught, like, and I mean, we live in such a golden age of like YouTube university, I mean, anything you want to learn, you just look it up on YouTube and it's there. So
that's true. That is true. I'm a self-taught plumber. I'm like, oh, I got to fix the sink. Is there a video?
Right.
At least you're not out there making Levi commercials bragging about being self-taught. Like, that's good.
Man, if Levi's paid me to wear some stupid fucking pants and being a guy, I would do it.
I think we all would.
Okay, so So Joe's Doolin, this is an interesting question. Have you noticed a lack of talent at the editorial level now versus a decade ago? I don't think there is a lack of talent at the editorial level. I do think that there is an emphasis in the hiring process probably put on language skills more than visual art skills, because I mean, editorial is a language based job, right? Like they want people to read scripts, to edit them, to go over lettering, and to project manage, right? And that doesn't require an art degree. And I think as cost cutting measures at some of the publishers, they have let go of like DC let go of Mark Chiarello, who was their longtime art director. And you just can't duplicate that guy's experience, you know?
Yeah.
So, I do see stuff coming out from all the publishers that I'm like, that is not good enough to be printed. And I'm not trying to be on
Fair.
my high horse here, but like there are basic fundamentals to drawing comics, and I mean to drawing in general, really, but also comics. I mean, it's its own language visually that I'm seeing sort of less and less of. Or I guess I'm seeing more examples where it is not there yet. And I think that to me is like you need an art director to go, legs don't work like that. We got to have them redraw that. You know what I mean? But stuff is getting put out where it's like, there's no understanding of perspective. There's no understanding of anatomy. There's weird things happening. Some people who work digitally, they'll draw like two things on top of each other and they'll forget to erase the overlap lines, and that gets printed. Like, to me, that's not good enough.
You just explained Rob Liefeld's career in a nutshell right there. So
he came in at a time when anybody who could hire a pencil was getting work, I think, because they were just trying to keep up with the demand of the 90s boom. And I mean, you got to give it to the guy. He created some characters that are long lasting, that people still love, and I think that's what has kept him relevant, or however you want to put it. I don't think he's a good draftsman at all, and I think he should be better for how long he's been doing it, but his bank account probably disagrees with me. So
like, do you remember in the night, like Rob, like we'll bring up like Rob, like in the 90s, not only did they want just hire people just to keep up, to get their output and make more and more books. Think of how many people they made emulate certain artists. Like, I remember back in the 90s, all people under like Rob's, I guess his art studio,
like
or whatever,
stable
like
of
the
creators,
Marat Michaels of the time, and like even Dan Panosian at the time. You see Dan Panosian's work today, it doesn't look anything like the aping Rob Liefeld that he did back in the 90s, because that's probably what they asked him to do. Like,
look
we
at
need you to fill in
Travis
X-Force,
Charest.
so you got to make it look like his.
Yeah, Travis Charest started as a Jim Lee guy,
exactly.
And now he's a modern master. I mean, so it is interesting. I think if people have it within them to kind of like find their own style and flourish, they do. And then, some people just make a lot of money doing the same thing, and that's what they want to do. And hey, man, life's short. Do what you want.
There's room for everybody. Not realistically though, there's room for everybody. They can do that thing, and if people are gonna buy it, then
Yeah, Image Extreme was just a do a Liefeld or Lee.
Yeah.
AOA says, do you have any hand stretches you do for fatigue?
I should. That's a good question. I'll kind of massage like this part of my hand, because that can cramp up from gripping the stylus or the pencil too much. And I'll kind of shake them out or do this kind of thing. I guess I do. Yeah, I don't know how helpful they are, but I do them.
Get a hand-sized hyperbolic chamber like Tio. You could stick it in there.
Just
let it rest overnight.
A back to tank.
Hell yeah.
Back to tank.
Guitar techniques. That'd be good.
Hand stretches. Well, you're more than welcome to stick around.
Yeah, how late do you guys typically go?
We've got just a few more segments.
We don't put a time on it.
You can leave whatever you want. You can tell everybody.
I actually do. Looking at the clock, I do need to go give my dog dinner. He's going to be down here making noise any minute if I don't. So he can tell time. He knows.
You and And
Yeah,
you're
he
welcome
was
back
enlightening.
anytime. It was great.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun chatting with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm on. We saw my YouTube. I'd love it if you. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, and I'm getting close. I just started it in February, so it's been cool to have it grow this quickly, and I'm grateful to everybody who checks it out.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
I
we'll
put
we'll drop the link.
back to it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Instagram. Just look up my name. You'll find me on there. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So thank you
Awesome.
guys
You're
again for having
Awesome.
me.
welcome back
Better than
anytime.
man.
I'll bug you when my next
Yeah.
book comes out for sure.
Exactly. You got something coming out?
Yep.
We're here.
do.
Awesome. Thank you
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Yep.
All right, take care. And thanks everybody for the questions. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, Ibrahim.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sorry, Hartman, he didn't answer your boner
Oh,
question.
I didn't ask anything.
Did you have any more font questions?
You don't respect the fonts.
I
Yes,
don't.
respect-
Not when we're talking to an artist, not a letterer.
He did. No, the font, like the
I know
cover.
he did. I'm just messing with you.
It makes
I
or
know,
breaks
he designed
covers.
it. I get it.
I loved that Turtles cover that he did. I thought it was fucking pretty cool.
I honestly can't wait to check out the toy stuff after we're done because
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was watching
I
some of
do
it.
love that stuff.
Dude,
I
his
was trying
last
to-
Ronin looks so good.
Oh, for some reason, when I share my screen, my internet dies. I don't know what it is.
A little bit of a hiccup, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess it's time for first appearances, right?
Yeah, we'll get into the first appearances this week. Just got a few here. Miles Morales, #1, the relaunch of the Miles Morales Spider-Man title. You get the first appearance of Raneem, later becoming an antagonist named Rabble. So there you go. There she is in that one. You also got the first appearance of Olivia, a Kree in disguise who becomes an antagonist of Moon Girl in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1. There she is right there. I don't know if anybody's reading that book, but
Not yet. I think I got it in a stack somewhere.
then in Thanos Death Note, you get the first appearance of Sorella or Corella, however you want to say it. Sorella, the first love of Thanos. Kind of look, that's what I took away from this book is that Thanos used to be a little bitch. Like, look how tiny he is there versus the Mad Titan. Like,
Well, Negan was kind of just a dick before before everything happened, and then then he became a fucking big dick and an asshole and started killing motherfuckers. So it always takes something to gear you up.
The first in Tiger Division. I'm gonna butcher these names. You get the first appearance of Min Jae, a childhood friend of. Not even gonna attempt that one. Who becomes an enemy. I forgot to pull a slide for that one. Then you got quick stops. If you're a Kevin Smith fan like myself, you get the first appearance of Randall Graves and Brody Bruce as vigilantes, and the new arch nemesis Count Cocula. But because of HR, we had to make sure that we edited out the cock on the shirt.
Yeah, we can't be showing
Don't want
wang.
to show any wang in there, so HR has censored
No
this.
bat wangs.
Yeah.
No, Pete's not a dick.
No Batwing.
Damage Control #5. Not a first appearance, but still is the first son of Galactus, who's also Gus, the main character in the story.
Gus?
Yeah, his name's Gus. So he likes to a piece of Galactus' helmet breaks off and goes to Earth and creates life, and it's him. And so instead of being a devourer of worlds, he's a devourer of cheeseburgers. So
So
he's Jughead.
So is
kind of essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Same as
Galactus?
Was it Terry Floyd in the chat? I think he.
Oh, that's right. Cheeseburgers.
Same as him.
Favorite medium.
But the way Marvel's been going by using Hulk's son and Black Panther's kid, it's I'm sure only a matter of time before Galactus' son stupidly shows up in the MCU. So maybe buy those up. I don't know.
Well, we got to get regular Galactus before we can get his kid.
Right. But that's it. That's all the first appearances for this week. So rush out to your comic book shops and pick those up. Don't pick those up. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
here to let you know what's out there.
Whatever the fuck you want.
I'm just here to let you know what happened.
So what we're
Go
going
by
to
the first appearance of Gus Lactus.
The rest.
What's that, Sticks?
Sorry, Stick.
Go by the first appearance of Gus Lactus.
Yeah, there you go. Gus Lactus. That sounds like a stomach medication.
Yeah, it's like I
You
have an
got diarrhea?
intolerance to lactose.
Gus Lactus.
What's the matter with you? I got Gus Lactus.
Yeah.
Gus Lactus will
Porn
cause
much
you
dairy.
anal bleeding, genital warts, and
Yeah.
Oh,
Should not be taken if you have high blood pressure. Some forms of cancers.
yes. People
Do not
like the hate.
people
Do
operating
you
heavy.
think Batman would
lactose
really
if
be
you're
naked and afraid? I don't think he would
lactose
be.
intolerant for Gus.
So what we're doing for the month of December for top fives is we're going to do, instead of doing everything in one episode for 2022, we're going to do different, what we thought was the best of 2022. This week we're doing our top 5 TV shows or shows that we liked for 2022, and then we're just going to kind of do a different top 5 regarding 2022 for the rest of the month.
Galactus knocking someone up is like watching a Great Dane going at it with a Chihuahua.
Did they show Conception? The books?
Go back and play with your Procreate.
Yeah.
They
I
do
don't have my
Procreate.
iPad charged.
HR won't allow us to show that, Hartman. So
I don't think it. Do they do that in the comics though?
What?
Or
No.
are they just Mother marrying it? It happens.
They pan to the window and you see the breeze blow the curtains.
Well, hey, when it
Yeah,
happens, it happens.
they pan away.
They pan away.
some comics they show it. Like if you're reading Saga definitely shows some procreation.
It's realism.
Yeah.
If you don't know what they're
Or-
doing, you shouldn't be worrying about it.
But this week's top 5 is we're doing TV shows that we liked.
What the heck? When did?
We decide this because every week in the chat, Kyle says, "Hey, what are you going to do for top 5 this week?" And nobody can come to a general consensus.
I said toys.
There's toys, and then Ish says, "Well, I don't have.
I don't have
anything."
any toys.
Yeah,
I played with
exactly.
Jax when I was little.
So
What?
Marvels.
So today we decided. So next week's top 5, I'll put it in the chat, but it's going to be a top of 2022 something.
How about top 5 of top 5? That's an idea. The top 5 best
Not
top
an idea.
5.
It's just
I'm
repetition.
just gonna go ahead and do this real quick.
Yeah.
We'll
So my
carry
top
on.
5 shows for 2022 were Moon Knight was my number 5. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I really
Marco.
liked it. I thought it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. It was something that captivated me. I enjoyed every episode.
I did enjoy it as well. I don't know if I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I did enjoy it.
I did. It was one of those that I looked forward to watching every week. So, and a lot of times I gauge how much I like a show by how much I pick up my phone while I'm watching it. And Moon Knight was one of those shows that I didn't like. I was like, fuck, it was already over. And I didn't. So that's how I did it.
Oh, yeah.
You can boo here. You don't have to boo in the chat.
Oh,
So my number 4 now
Moon Knight is one of those shows where I was doing nothing but being on my phone the entire time.
I picked Dahmer because I just thought it was badass.
Didn't watch this one.
It was
I didn't see
crazy
this
to
one
watch. I know a lot of it was embellished and kind of taken out of context and stuff, but overall, it was a good show.
But that's a show. Like,
Yeah.
like you want it to be embellished. You want it to be interesting. You're like, go ahead. Take it to that next level.
Yeah, if it's by the numbers, you can just read the newspaper article.
Exactly. Well, that's no fun. We all know what happened.
Yeah.
remember the sequel's coming out. Don't forget.
Dahmer Reborn.
Dahmer and Greg.
Dahmer and Greg.
We're just gonna go ahead and do this again.
Joe says all the best Moon Knight action was blackouts. I mean, yeah, but I just thought it was a good show.
All the
Okay,
action happens.
Yeah, my
Blacked
number
out.
3 is Peacemaker.
Wow,
I
that's kind of low for this one. I thought.
I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
This was another one where you were just like, "Fuck yeah!" Like every
The
week.
intro. was
Yep.
top tier.
Yeah, you look forward to the show every week, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
The first episode
Isn't that
though,
good?
I was on the fence. I was like, "Is this gonna work?" I don't know if it's gonna work every week. I don't. But right after that, I just settled in. It was great.
Dude, I never skipped the intro dance ever.
No,
I watched it every episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So get you.
My number 2 was Wednesday. This fucking show, man. I don't know if it's. I like the high school drama type of shows, like in
I
movies,
like that stuff. Yeah.
you know.
I didn't watch this stuff. So
It's good.
yeah.
But I just thought Wednesday was just really well done, and you know, they did what Stranger Things did, and they actually made the Cramps relevant again.
Hmm.
So,
I heard she was good. Like she was better than the show itself. Is like some of the things that I had heard. Like,
And now
Jenny
they're
Ortega?
tripping because she had COVID during the dance scene. Now that's what everybody's bitching about.
What?
It's like,
I'm not.
there's a bunch of complaints because she revealed she had COVID when she filmed the dance scene, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, she's a horrible person."
I thought she played Wednesday great, and you know what, that's a good point, Pete. Is she made the show? Like
That's just what I heard. I heard she was
yeah,
fantastic.
and like I didn't even know Christina Ricci was in it for like 3 episodes.
Really?
I didn't even realize that it was her.
Mm.
So, but no, it's good. Then my number 1 show is
I liked it, but I just didn't. I didn't like Louise Guzman as Gomez Adams,
Yeah,
and I
that
really
was
didn't
weird
like
casting
Catherine
choice.
Zeta-Jones as Morticia either.
I like Catherine Zeta-Jones as anything.
You gonna watch National Treasure?
Yeah. My number 1 is Chainsaw Man. Fucking love this show.
Sam put you up to this?
No, he did not. He didn't even know we were doing this as a top 5.
It was
We did.
all Joe's Doolin says Sandman is number 1.
I still haven't finished it.
Sandman was probably number 6 for me.
That's no. It's not because Sandman was good. It's just I was watching my wife, and well, I keep trying to let's watch it again. Maybe tomorrow.
No.
Sandman was good though. It was kind of hard. I was looking at one thing I realized is, God damn, they put a lot of shows out in 2022.
Yeah.
And I don't fucking watch like 1% of them.
Mm.
All right, so
Yeah, it's hard to keep
my,
up with everything. That's for
It
sure.
really
my
is.
top 5. Number 5 for me was What We Do in the Shadows.
Yay!
I love this show. This
Yay.
show's so good.
I tried so hard. Like I remember Matt coming on and messaging me one day, and he's like, "You've got to watch the show. It's hilarious." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Creepy paper.
And I tried watching it. I probably watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, "Fuck!" And it's something. Then I just kind of forgot about it.
Really?
It takes like a lot of the first season for me to really get into it, but the final episode when they have the vampire orgy, that's what really sold me. And then like all of season 2 and from there on was so good.
I like the court scene where they had Blade come in
Yeah.
and he's on. Wesley Snipes Skypes in. That joke is hilarious.
Number 4 for me was House of Dragon.
Oh, that's a good show.
I loved House of Dragon. Like for anyone who was like, "Well, I didn't like Game of Thrones because it was so slow," I would be like, "Well, check out House of Dragon, and it's a
Why didn't you-
prequel, but it's
why didn't
so
I get a pick?
fast." You do get a pick. You could have just. You can easily make a top 5 right now
I
and
didn't
go. Oh my god. Number 3 for me was Stranger Things. The 4th season of Stranger Things was so good.
It was good.
And I was like, after season 2 and 3 were kind of a lull, and all like the time that was between season 3 and 4, I was like, is anybody even going to care about this series anymore? And they came back with a banger of a season. So much so that I can't wait for season 5. Number 2, Better Call Saul. I mean, next to Breaking Bad, this is probably one of the best shows on TV. The first season was a little rough to get through, but after that, it was It's very, very good.
Yeah, I'm
Even
behind
though
on this one's too.
I probably would have changed the ending. I still really liked this show. My number one is
I'm in the
Peacemaker.
middle of the one. Yeah.
Peacemaker, I think, was one of the was a surprise that came out of nowhere. And I was joking with Kyle before the show. I said I always remember Peacemaker came out this year because it came out the same day my daughter was born. So I watched the first 2 episodes laying on the hospital room floor as she and my wife were sleeping. So that's how I remember Peacemaker came out this year. That is
Memories.
definitely my number one. What do you got, Hartman? That's what I thought. Good job.
Silent.
Again.
What would have been a few
applause
that
for
are-
Hartman's list. Hartman's list is amazing. It's fantastic. The crowd is going wild. over Hartman's
Asshole.
list.
Number one would have been. I'll just do number one. I think you should leave. Season 2, best sketch show ever created. That's
See, I went off of shows that debuted this year.
well. I mean,
I thought that's when we were talking about it. I thought that was kind of the criteria.
I'd say
Wow.
Wednesday's on
Debut
Wednesday's
show
on the list too.
Best shows of the
I
year.
think in the vampire show, What We Do in the Shadows.
Would have been your
super
list.
slept
Pete.
on.
I don't know. Well, I'm a big fan of Peacemaker. Again, I'm going off. I didn't prepare or think about this. Off the top of my head, I was a big fan of Peacemaker. I really like House of Dragons. I also like Rings of Power, even though it was very different than House of Dragons. I did enjoy watching Rings of Power every week. I don't know. I am enjoying Willow. Well, I'm enjoying watching Willow with my son. Like, my son's really digging it. So him enjoying it is making me enjoy it probably more than I should. So I am enjoying Willow.
That first episode, I was like, I don't know. But
Yeah, because they're talking like normal. It's like I'm watching a CW show, but set in the fantasy world, but they're talking like normal. Like,
that's what my wife's biggest complaint was. She's like, why are they talking normal?
Yeah.
But then once I eased into it, and like I said, my son and laughing at the jokes, I'm like, all right, okay. I don't know. I don't know if I can fill out the whole top 5 because I know I'm going to forget stuff. Because
Smiling Friends, that was one.
That is a good show. Smiling Friends is a very good show.
Sticks,
It's a Cartoon Network Adult Swim show.
Oh, Critical Role, Vox Machina. I enjoyed that animated show. That was pretty good earlier in the year.
You love that show, I think, Pete.
I do. It was silly as shit, but I liked it.
Yeah, you like to talk about that one. I haven't seen that one, so.
And Love, Death, and Robots. That would be in.
Love, Death, and Robots was good. Yeah. I finally caught up on those. Hartman. I like when the newest season, I guess, premiered. But you save them because they're like 12 minutes. Like,
did the Killer Riff give you goosebumps when the one with the he's on the plane or he's on the air, like the spacecraft, like years, like 50, 60 years in the future, and I don't want to. It's the one where it's all CG but it looks realistic, and the end ends in like a big tarantula alien showing herself. It was in season 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one really fucked with me.
There's a few of them that were really messed up.
Yeah, it's like Black Mirror for animation.
Yeah, it's another show I gotta get back to.
Black Mirror is so good. Mirror. Well, I should say I preface by saying the first 2 seasons were so good.
Sticks, what you got for us?
So for my 5, I guess I would go for number 5. I'll stick with Moon Knight. Moon Knight wasn't bad. It was better than She-Hulk. It was better than She-Hulk.
What? What's She-Hulk? I've never heard.
I still enjoyed that for what it was.
Crap.
Can I guess your number 1, Sticks?
No, do not guess my number 1 because you'll be wrong.
You think I'll be wrong?
I think you'll be wrong. Number 4, I'm going to put Rings of Power. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a condensed, based on the books, because the books are like 2,000 years and running, and they've condensed everything into the. So I thought that was really done, really well. 3 is going to be Andor.
Oh, fuck yeah, Andor.
Andor was really good. Coming off, and I don't want to really crap on Book of Boba Fett, but coming off the Book of Boba Fett, we were really kind of down on how the Star Wars shows had been going. And I think
even
Andor
Kenobi was still like,
Even Kenobi was, it came up a little bit, but I think Andor, right back to the top where it should be. The writing where that should be.
See, that's one I
I-
forgot. That's good
See?
thing you're here, Sticks.
Number 2. Is that my number 2? That was number 3. 4, 3.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I lost my train of thought. Where am I?
Number 2.
Andor.
2. Oh, Andor. Yeah, 2. So 2, I'm putting Doctor Who. Power of the Doctor.
Oh.
It was one episode, but
You're just going off of the special?
I'm just gonna go off of that. It was
Yeah,
really,
forget the
I
rest of the
really-
Jodie Whittaker stuff. We're just doing the special because
We didn't have anything else this year.
yeah, fair enough.
We had this year.
And I'm still
I
behind.
really liked it. Peacemaker. For me, I thought I wasn't gonna like it, and I got to looking forward to it every week, and I just love the show. You know,
Yeah,
Peacemaker is one of those shows where I would watch, like, I'd probably watch each episode 4 or 5
If-
times. Like,
if
it was-
the DCEU or whatever you want to call it, DC Universe, you know, whatever you want to call it, if they were always like that, I think they wouldn't have a problem selling it to people.
I want more John Cena playing Home Sweet Home on the piano. That's what I want
Yes.
more of.
I want
Yeah.
more Adrian Chase.
Oh,
And I was surprised to find out that was actually him playing on the piano.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, Chase is pretty good too.
That's crazy.
BK said both lists are missing the boys, so general grade is C-. I didn't put the boys on there
haven't seen The Boys.
because of how overhyped they made the Herogasm episode and like
It
how
was-
watered down it was compared
Right?
to the comic.
Right? We didn't. Well, I don't think I got to talk about that anywhere.
What about Invincible?
I liked Invincible.
Invincible
Invincible
was
was
good
good
too,
too.
but that was last
I
year.
think that was last.
Oh,
That was
was
a
it?
while ago.
Yeah,
That might have been last year.
I think it was.
I know at the COVID times and like everything runs together now. It's hard to like. Was
Yeah.
that last year? Was that this year? Was that when was that? Because it feels like everything was like this year.
I mean, you can tell which shows were affected by the COVID and which kind of really upgraded even during that time, right? I mean,
Tell me when you guys
Like-
want to do it.
We'll do
Well-
this. We'll do it right before we do move. Right, we'll do it right now.
Yeah, because they're gonna go into movie wars, so we'll do it right.
You wanna
before
do it
Movie
now?
Wars.
We'll do it right now.
Save the things.
Told you. Anytime. We're putting the hat on. So for you 27 that are here in the live chat, you have a shot to win one of the last, what do I got? 7 packs left. So I'm going to make it pretty easy for you. If you guys have been watching the show and paying attention, you got a good shot at winning this one. Or if you're really fast on Google, first person in the chat to tell me what day of the year
I know that.
Dimebag Daryl passed away on, you get to pick your price.
Ooh.
So whoever's the first, Dimebag Daryl, what day of the year? Just need the date. You can give me the year. That'll be a bonus point for you, but you're not getting anything extra for it. But what day of the year?
hi Nathan, we got 12-12.
It's Repair Tech Tony.
Repair Tech Tony coming in hot.
There you go.
God
Got it,
damn
Tony.
it. Ugh,
All right. Yep.
I almost
You
had
got it, Tony. So you got to pick. Let me see what we got left. I didn't put my graphic up, but you guys, you can pick 1 through 5, 8, or 12. That's what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, or 12.
And you have won a turd
DK, you're a little
sandwich
slow.
covered in
Hi,
ranch.
Nathan, a little slow.
You might as well pick 8 since he won because it's
What?
December 8th.
extra ranch.
Why would he want a Subway sandwich?
A turd sandwich. I
Hey,
think.
don't
I said
forget,
you
my-
won a
my
turd,
pack is
but
still
I
in
get what
there,
he's
too.
saying. He's saying Subway sucks. So
You, Kyle, you talked Tony into it. You talked him into number 8.
All right. 8 is great.
And you guys might not know this, but 8 actually is one of my favorite numbers. So this is my pack of comics, and it's a little bit scattered.
There's a lot of numbers.
Let me get the other book that goes into here. Where is it?
I'm like 47.
I got this.
A bonus book.
Not bonus book.
A date with Dahmer impersonator.
It's supposed to be in there. It just it was over on the side because I've been showing it elsewhere. Here, I'm gonna go shift me over to the big screen so I can give Repair Tech Tony what he's getting.
I don't want to be big screen.
Is spanking.
A pack of things
Here, you do it,
curated by
Mike.
me. So you're going to get
There you
a Last Dragon Blu-ray because
go. Ooh.
Bruce Leroy is just awesome.
Bruce Leroy.
You're going to get a Mad Balls variant. This is a 1 in 5. It's not the 1 in 10. It's a 1 in 5, but still.
Yeah.
1 in 5 Mad Balls. You're going to get a Garbage Pail Kids homage as well. I mean, this came out just recently too, so you don't have to buy it. I already bought it for you. I like video games, so you're going to get a 1 in 25 video game variant as well. This Avengers AI, little 8-bit style.
That's cool.
Still going. We got a couple more for you. I told you I like this new artist, Flops. So you're getting this Betty and Veronica Flops variant.
There's more
from Archie. And
that's a nice cover.
You're getting the Biggie Deadpool.
Oh,
nice.
In the pack. So
There
you're
you
getting
go.
the Biggie Deadpool, which has been going for anywhere between 1 and 150 lately. So if you want to sell it, you can sell. I don't care what you do with it after I give it to you. I'm giving it to you. I sold one, so this is free to me. So now it's free to you.
Nice.
You get the Deadpool. Repair Tech Tony, you got the Pete Pack.
What do we get?
You guys get my thanks.
Heard that doesn't sell much,
It does not.
but it's a thought that counts.
It is.
What's the Marco pack? A pure Michigan bumper sticker, a coupon to a salad bar, and
Talk boy with his recorded words.
And some water from Flint.
yeah, some
No.
Flint
You're gonna
water.
get, or you're gonna get some Red Bull.
Get a sound device with him saying
Right,
like
cool.
words.
And a coupon to a shoe place.
Tony, I think I have your address. I think you won something from me before, but reach out to me, give me your address so I can mail that out to you.
Hard
this week as
time.
well.
Hard time.
Hard times.
Hard times.
All right, congratulations, Repair Tech Tony.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
Tony.
that's awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and do movie wars, Kyle.
Yep.
Movie
I
wars.
didn't check the poll to see what won.
We got it. So last week we did Elf versus Bad Santa, and are you sharing the screen?
Selfish.
How did it get removed? There you go. Hold on. There we go.
And Elf won. What was the percentages?
I do like
Elf
Bad Santa, though.
ran away with it after 64 total votes. We had 63% in favor for Elf, 38% in favor for Bad Santa.
Rigged.
So
what
this
picked me?
week it is Elf versus
Oh,
Christmas
Man.
Vacation.
Oh.
So I think this is going to be a close one.
I think it is too. I don't get to vote because I got to put the poll up. It won't even let me put a vote in.
just get a username different.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go do that.
I don't vote on them.
It's a lot of extra
You
work.
don't vote on 'em. But yeah, I mean, Christmas Vacation's a classic, though. It's
It
one of
is.
those.
I think I might go that way if it were me. If I were voting, that's
Yeah.
where I might.
I think
lean.
Elf is overrated. I don't know.
It's
There's
funny
something
shit.
about that movie I just don't.
No.
I don't like.
Eh,
I think it's pretty funny.
You live in the desert. What do you know?
it's a good movie. You
Yeah,
can
what
have
do
all
you
the
know about
background.
snow and Christmas?
Listen, I'm from the great state of Michigan, like Marco. All right, I haven't always lived in the desert.
Okay.
Like when I was in Vegas, they played it for 24 hours. It was on my TBS for 24 hours. I must have watched it like between bed and getting up and coming back to the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff it was just on.
It's got great rewatch value.
Yeah, I watched it that same thing with my wife, and I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up at the exact same spot I fell asleep at. So
Is the Christmas
convenient.
story played year or like all day where you guys are at?
It's
I know
Christmas Eve.
on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's 24 hours
Yeah.
on two
I
different
wasn't sure if
channels
that was
on
just
TNT
Indiana
and
or if it was everywhere else.
Yeah,
on
they double
TNT
up.
and TBS.
Two
Yeah.
channels worth.
2 channels.
The line was halfway to Terre Haute.
Yeah, us Indiana
It's
people
smiling
us
at me.
Hoosiers love it.
That shit's funny. All right, so
Joe's Doolin says, "Yes, we live in America."
But you don't live in Indiana where it's supposed to take place.
this is the end of the line. The line begins back there.
Yeah.
I actually
Seem to be
used
merry.
I usually used that on somebody once.
What,
Some
the
dude-
line thing?
Yeah,
From
I was
Christmas.
Terre
waiting in
Haute
line.
smells like shit.
I was waiting in line for McFarlane, and I was like third or fourth in line, and this dude, like, I had been there for like 14 hours waiting for him because the first person there got this really cool prize pack, and then I ended up being like third or fourth or something, and I wasn't gonna leave. So
Yeah, you're already there.
and
Couldn't get up a half an hour earlier.
and this dude, like 10 minutes before I was about to start, comes, "Hey guys, what's up?" and starts to like
Ooh,
line.
bad form.
Oh.
And I was like, "Hey man, this is the end of the line. The beginning line's back there," and it was fucking wrapped. You know, everybody was there to get audit because they were there. It was at his store, at McFarlane's toy store, and he was doing autographs and stuff. But yeah, I told him that he looked at me.
I thought you scared him away with the "I like Santa" and just got really close and stared at him.
I should have did that.
Yeah.
Start touching his shoulder. Mm.
So, Cartoon Wars.
Well, on Cartoon Wars, we're sticking to the holiday theme. Last week we had a Charlie Brown Christmas versus Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Surprisingly, this was a lot closer than the Elf, with 57% of the vote, with 57 total votes. Charlie Brown just squeaked by with 58% versus the Grinch's 42%.
That's tough.
Which was surprised to me because I thought for sure the Grinch would have taken it, but the people have spoken and they went with Charlie Brown Christmas. So this week we have Charlie Brown Christmas versus Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Because who doesn't like an elf who would rather be sadistic and be a dentist than make toys?
Me. Charlie Brown all day.
I like the font on Rudolph.
Sure, you do like the font on Rudolph.
The Land of Lost Toys, though.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
They're both like
Nope.
you want. Like, I grew up watching both of them every year.
Oh yeah, they're always
Joe's
on
Doolin
every
says
year.
Charlie Brown's going to hold it down again. Charlie Brown
Yeah.
Christmas
Charlie
Supreme
Brown.
champ.
I've got that tree in my garage, the Charlie Brown sad tree. So, but I would have to go Charlie Brown again too.
Yeah.
It's tough. I know Rudolph's a classic, but so was Grinch.
Yeah, but I think Charlie
I-
Brown, like the Grinch, was later.
But you still hear that. You're a mean one. Mr. Grinch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know the song for Charlie Brown. I just
I-
know wop wop wop.
Do 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 do. Yeah.
Could we replace it with Cena doing Home Sweet Home?
Yeah, I mean that
Someone will do that now.
Oh, it's see, this is getting close.
See,
Here,
I know.
This is
I think of that
50-50.
the SNL skit, which their person at the Charlie Brown, he gets Al Pacino. You bitch! Takes the ball away from him, kicking.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Hot Girl of the Week. Let's see how much trouble we can get in this week. Aw.
Ooh, look at that! Look at
Yeah.
that landing strip.
We're not. So in
Oh,
place,
showing nipples.
so in place, what I'm
It's a
going to
big
show you
D.
guys is some pussy.
You want to Sharon Stone it?
Oh,
Oh, yep, and you get a cat on the trampoline.
it's a hairy pussy. Look at that one jump.
And
The
that's what you
springs
get.
on that legs.
See, I figured you would have went more with the Cheech speech in From Dusk Till Dawn, where he's listing all of them, the snapping and
Ooh, more. Give me more. More.
Son of a bitch, Tyson says.
I just said watch the nipples.
I'm gonna watch them. Yeah, show them. You gotta show them before we watch them.
We all liked watching them every week. And to close out the show,
You let Marco come on the show one time, and we all get in trouble.
right? To close out, we have Hartman doing his "What the fuck" story.
What the? All right, what the fuck?
According to authorities in Western Germany, approximately 16 containers containing
16 or
bull
60?
60.
Okay.
60 containers containing bull sperm were stolen from a farm at the start of the week. Olfen is around 56 miles or 90 kilometers northeast of Cologne, the fourth biggest city in the country. Police working on the case are stumped as to how the theft went down, as bull sperm needs to be cooled with liquid nitrogen at a negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent spoiling. They're seeking tips and helping with the recovery of the sperm, and you can send them at, I'll contact me first, and I'll give you an address.
Contact
yeah.
you first.
You can't figure out who stole the bull sperm, so they're reaching out to the public to try to catch.
It's probably the guy
bull
that's
sperm.
saying contact me first.
We thought it was milk.
That would be my first place to start. Is the
What
guy
the hell
saying
was the
contact
point
me
of saying
first.
how big the town was? That's a needless
I
part
mean,
of the
what-
story.
Did they think it was human, or like are they creating an army of bulls? What is going on?
That's
They're
stuff's
creating
apparently worth.
genetically enhanced.
It's worth a lot of money.
We should be worried. If you see a bunch of
They
bulls
wouldn't
in
be
your
collecting
town,
it.
I don't know, but what the fuck?
Genetically enhanced cyborg bulls will run.
We should keep an eye on the bull population, though.
I didn't know you had to get it to negative 320 degrees
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
negative 300. What the hell is that shit? How cold are a bull's balls?
So you tell me my fridge isn't a good place to put this bull sperm?
No, it's not.
No, sir.
Maybe they do it so they can get some more.
The thought that counts.
It's for sauce for them Rocky Mountain oysters.
We ain't putting this in our donuts.
Could I get that without the silky cream sauce?
So if you guys have any information on where the 60 I don't know how big the containers were. 60 containers containing bull sperm. Like for some reason in my mind I picture barrels.
I think
Not
like a
They were
Jurassic
jelly
Park
jars.
Barbasol
Cup you
cans,
pee
like it's
in.
not something smaller.
It's like a cup full of-
Jelly jars.
Yeah, little candle jars full of
little mason jars.
yeah, like the moonshiners use. This is
I got a bunch of these
100%
jars that used to have farts in them.
So what they're used for is for artificial insemination. Marvin.
But what? So what are they? You got a back out or a black? What is it? A back alley, black market of like where they're using this bull semen. I got a guy. Got a guy that gets it.
Man, I really
I mean,
need about 20 jars or 20
Yeah.
barrels of bull semen.
Well, you're in luck. We
You're
just
in
got a truck full of bull sperm straight up from the UK.
Maybe they use it to go fishing like Hank Hill did with crack.
Well, I mean, liquid lure.
Hartman uses his hair gel, so he.
Maybe they're getting ready for their annual Christmas party. So that's it. Pete will be posting the movies and cartoons Monday or Tuesday for you guys to vote on.
I'm gonna get down to this bull semen thing.
You work on that.
Thank you all you guys for hanging out with us. Sorry, Sticks. Your Sabres lost again.
They did.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Shout out to our guest today. He was a pretty cool dude. And on that note, you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.
Oh, it's
Have a
over
good night, guys.
already.
Yeah, you sure?
Happy
You
holidays.
Keep going. I'm still drinking.
Follow.